right, hello everybody. We are live from the apocalypse. What's going on? Well, happy to be here. Happy to play a little more two-headed serpent, and happy to continue the adventure with these brave heroes. So, hello, heroes. How's everybody doing?
Hello. Doing good.
Yeah.
Ready to rumble. Ready to kick and punch snake people.
Yeah. Kick and punch. Snake people
It's
bad.
on fire for you.
So. uh, when we last left our heroes, they'd returned to New York City and had spent some time getting settled back in. They learned a little more about the workings of the inner night thanks to Quentin and Shekels and their research. They learned about the cult of Yig, which is apparently a counter group to the inner night, and the ongoing civil war between these two factions that's going to eventually end, at least is prophesized to end, in some sort of terrible apocalyptic event where one group wins. All that sounds very bad. But between all the depressing news, they had a chance to go check in with their friends and families and make sure that all the people they are fighting for are in fact good. And they've had some good interactions by doing that. But there have, of course, been some complications as well. The most recent one being Wendy's interaction with a very tall, kind of lean, hook-nosed man missing a tooth who dropped off a note saying that Joseph Giuseppe would like to talk to you and your friends about your involvement with Caduceus. You're invited to dinner at the Garden Green Cafe, 10 p.m. tonight.
Yep. Dropped
And
off his dry cleaning, so that's gonna come back with a nice like moth-eaten hole in the corner.
yeah, he dropped off a very ratty jacket to go with it.
Yeah. I mean, chemical burns happen in
yeah.
dry cleaning. It's the 30s. It's fine.
So, and with a with that he proceeds to just leave. Uh, Wendy, it's early morning. You're just talking to your aunt beforehand. She's in the back, getting stuff prepped for the day. There was some news she wanted to share with you about your dad that you hadn't quite had a conversation about yet before the bell rang and this customer came in. So now you have this note and you just hear from the back. Wendy, do we have a customer?
Brought a coat. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the line, and she'll like take it and put it on one of the little crappy wire hangers, and then like go like towards the line of the dry cleaning bit, and like it'll miss and fall on the ground. Yeah.
So petty.
Oops. Yeah, early morning drop off. Said he was gonna pick it up later. We got it.
Okay. When you're done with that, I need your help in the back.
Yeah. And we'll like take the paper and fold it small enough that I can like hide it between like layers of like the collar of my shirts, like not even in a pocket necessarily, and then come back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm ready, Auntie. It's on the line. Like wasn't the greatest condition coat anyway, so we'll make sure it's fine. I'm sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, customer's a customer, right? It's good for business.
Sure.
And the two of you start kind of working through the day. There's resupply, there's cleaning, there's inventory, right? As you're going through and getting caught up on things, there's a lot of conversation that your aunt wants to have, but all of it tends to revolve around you, right? It's just like, how was the trip? What did you get a chance to see the whole capital? What'd you learn?
Oh goodness. Well, we had to fill in a couple of papers and reports. So everywhere that we were visiting, you had to ask and take notes, and some of the places you have to find like a docent, one of the tour people,
Mm-hmm.
and like make them tell you what you need to do. So like it was a lot more, so more social than I would have like really loved to do. I didn't get a chance to just explore the way that I wanted. And I like fell down the one like steps into the, so like for a while there I was like limping,
Oh
bad.
no.
And yeah, that made it harder to get around. Also like definitely have like a little mark, and but the like it was a wonderful celebration of this country, Auntie. Um,
I'm glad to hear it. Um, she asked, a few follow-ups, but there's a lot of awkward silence that falls in between those. She'll go clean for a bit and she'll say, "Oh, did you get a chance to see the monuments?" And then she'll clean for a little more and say, "What was your favorite thing to write about?" And then go back to working. And then after a while, she just kind of lets the silence stay. Right. And when I say silence, I mean you're still surrounded by like the hum of machinery and washers,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But it's very much
we're not.
yeah. She's usually more talkative than this, and
Yeah, the fact that we haven't been bombarded with family gossip, something the fuck is up. All right, yeah, like so like as she gets a little bit quiet, because like she knows, like we had the conversation, she knows that I did like job work while I was down, so
mm-hmm.
uh I'm gonna like, well, while we're, since we have the time, and I'm helping out today, like what was Papa like while I was gone? Uh, that if I wanted to take another trip now that I've got that internship that we're so excited about,
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for leaving him, but I know that you guys take good care of him here.
When you say another trip, she kind of pauses in the middle of folding a jacket, and she says, "I don't want you to get alarmed, and I understand all the stuff you're doing, and maybe it's nothing, but
So immediately my blood pressure just went through the roof. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
but your father hasn't been himself recently. Maybe the last week or two, he seems very scattered. He's not. He's having issues at times following conversations or remembering stuff. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes he's his usual self, but sometimes it's been awkward. Um, we have conversations and he would not remember them later, or he would just space out for a bit. He's Yeah, he was asking the other day, you know, where your mom was. He forgot. Um, yeah, so it's a little concerning, but we don't.
Was he sick? Well, like, did something happen before? That
No, he just. I don't know what would have caused something like this, but we've. I didn't want to just drop this on you, but we're talking about like, talking to a doctor and making sure that he's more than okay, right? he may just be having a bad week. It's a lot of stress still, and yeah, this is not. I'm sorry you came back to this.
And just in a week? That's like, I mean, I'm assuming Wendy would have noticed it if it would have been happening before they left for Bolivia. So like this is also fast.
Yeah. Make a. Go ahead and roll intelligence.
Uh, hard success, not excellent success.
Okay.
Second tier. Yeah.
There have been times when interactions have been a little off with your dad. It's not to the extent that your aunt's describing, but she's kind of laying this out. He definitely has been scattered at times. The way she's describing it is way more intense. You know, I mean, we had tea with your dad, and he basically was like joking about forgetting how to make food and like forgetting to eat. And now that you look back on that, those may have been
yeah, probably
flags.
wasn't a joke.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Like Wendy's immediately going to do that. Okay, so you talk to, and like when they say doctor, like they're probably talking like it's a doctor in their community, right? Like it's going to be in. So like, did you talk to like, okay, and he did like what did he tell dad to do? Like is he taking? Like is it special tea or like what are we like I can pick that up today after we're done here and do we think we want to take him to like a bigger doctor like at the and she'll like gesture towards like further downtown towards the rest of the city, like is it time for that?
That's honestly what I wanted to talk to you about now that you're back, because you said and she gives you like a little wink, like the trip that you went on went well, so I guess we have the money to go see a specialist, maybe, or a more expensive doctor.
And like nobody showed up or anything, right? Like then did someone freak him out or stress him out or if he wasn't sick? What?
No, he's just been. Yeah, it just happened very suddenly. I don't understand it.
It's like the feeling of guilt now is that she's like, you were gone for a week and you being gone did this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That him not having you around to support him made his memory worse, and yeah, this is
context. Times a little wibbly wobbly. It was closer to 3 weeks, but it was all,
sorry.
It's still enough to be.
Said
like,
have been bad for the past week. Yeah.
I wasn't here to help. I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of, she just kind of looks at you like that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about, and yeah.
Look, we're gonna do everything we can, and I need to go and pick up what we need for him from the local doctor. I can always, of course, do that. And I know that you watch over him. Maybe being gone was harder on him than I thought it was going to be. I'm gonna have to make sure that he's got things upstairs now every day before I leave, and like you can see like the mental inventory of like we're gonna like meal prep everything. Like he's never gonna tell me that he forgot how to eat again. And okay. Okay. Um, and like, Auntie doesn't probably know that like I could afford to have somebody, now, like, as long as we keep this up, like, be his like caretaker. But that's the like, well, shit. Like,
The plan.
does this mean I not leave, or does this mean I get somebody to step in? Um, you know, like that one cousin of mine definitely needs a job. Yeah, yeah, layabout. But yeah,
Okay.
okay. Um, yeah. So like as they like finish up whatever like immediate tasks that they need to do, she's gonna like beg off so she can run upstairs and like check on him. Or so like normally like middle of the day, he's gonna do what he's doing. He's gonna be like out on cab, but she's gonna make sure that she's got like the next meal that they're not gonna eat together, like laid out, already ready to go, like on the table, covered with like a napkin.
Yeah,
Um,
you run through, you make
yeah,
all these preps. It's a, it feels good, right? It's a little something, but it's something that you are directly doing to impact and help. So there's a small feeling of
yeah,
satisfaction that comes out of it, for sure. Um, One of the other things that does pop into your mind is that, um, and up to Wendy how she feels about this, but Caduceus has a ton of resources. You know, I don't know how much you want to get your family involved with them, but they are a global medical organization.
yeah. Like
So,
when she meant like fancier doctor, that's
gotcha.
like we're gonna see who Caduceus can have look at him.
Okay.
But the like he's going to be completely fish out of water with like he's not going to be able to communicate to the doctor the same way that like I would be able to.
Yeah.
So, and like then having to then like move that down the funnel of the rest of the family of so it's definitely a like we're going to get him checked out by, but uh that might be just dad and I for a while.
Okay. But yeah, you're able to get all that set up. You make a plan with your aunt, and you kind of like take care of some of the stuff that you just hadn't been doing because you've been gone, right? And I think that also brings a little bit of comfort to Wendy. What do you do with the invitation you're given?
Uh, so like we're gonna like lay out congee or whatever and then come back downstairs and use like go over to like the laundry telephone and be like, Auntie, I'm gonna see if I can find one of my friends at school. Their parents work as like regular, like white people doctors. We're gonna see if we can. I'm gonna tell them, um, and then she's gonna call probably Cecil, like
Okay.
for just because like of the people that I know that possess a telephone and would be able to disseminate information. Like Oliver's probably sleeping on the couch in his office. We know that. The so yeah. So she'll call his house. So I don't know if she'd get a like because you have like the one cook whatever bit. Um, you're on mute, Joe.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
There we go.
Um,
Okay. Oh yay!
hooray. I was looking up her name, but yeah, it
Yeah.
might be Mindy? Maybe it's Mindy.
Hear Mindy over the phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, you know, um, Mindy, would you please would you write this down? And then she's gonna relay exactly what the note said. She's like, can you tell Lord Davenport that this was a request from a customer at the laundry in a scrappy coat?
Oh, of course, dear.
Like, did you write it down,
Mm-hmm.
Mindy?
Oh,
Like,
word for
can you?
word. Yeah, I'll get it back for you.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure we bring over some dumplings next time. Thank you.
Of course.
Um,
Lord Cecil, you had a phone call.
Yes. 1 second, Mindy. I'll be right in. That's British. Wait a second. I'll be right in. No problem, Mindy. What seems to be the trouble?
Oh, like Wendy was not actually expecting to get Cecil on the phone. Like fancy people don't answer their own phones. What the? I had a shady looking guy to our laundry and dropped off like a coat with a note with it, and he wants me, but all of us, to do dinner at this cafe, and like we'll take out the folded up note, and like at 10 too, so like and he said like bring your friends, so Joseph Giuseppe with this address and 10 o'clock at this cafe. And like he was rude and I spit on his coat and it's in the trash now. But the like I don't know if you know anything or if we should go. My instinct to say no or pretend that we lost it in the trash somewhere. Like we'll like have my like little cousin answer the door next time. He won't know the difference. And then like yeah. But
You're going a mile a minute, lass. First off, good work.
he was
You should
he
always
made me
treat.
uncomfortable.
I'm gonna intervene.
Well, you should always treat people as such.
I'm gonna jump in real
that are
quick.
rude.
Since you brought the name up, Joseph Giuseppe again, either one of you can make an intelligence or history check.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the option because history will gonna be real bad.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a 95. No.
A regular soft success.
You've seen that name, Cecil, in the headlines before. Joseph Giuseppe is absolutely a high-level, alleged mafioso or gangster, right? Nothing's been able to stick, but about 5 years back, there were two warring families, and the other family's not talked about anymore, and Joseph Giuseppe's doing pretty well for himself. So, yeah. It's something to do with a lot of bootlegging in the late 20s.
Cecil kind of catches his breath and he says, did you notice anything else about this man? Did
Hey.
he look out of sorts? Anything else unusual happen?
Oh, this guy was definitely not the guy. Like I'd bet that's not Joseph. He was tall and he had like his nose looked like he getting hit a couple of times. And real rude. Like smarmy.
Was he dressed well? Was he just down?
Just like something that would have made him look like something I would have had that would have made me look like I kind of fit in when I'm driving the cab for somebody nice, but like it wasn't good condition or anything. This came out of somebody's, closet from 4 years ago that they forgot about. Yeah, not.
First
Like,
off,
this wasn't Joseph. This was somebody else.
Remind me to take you when I go clothing shopping again. But you weren't.
He can't see that Wendy's gonna do a little like. And it's like, wait, can Saoirse come?
Oh, no, she most definitely will. She tends to try to tend to me when I leave the house, as you do know. Anything else unusual, however?
I mean, other than he asked for me and my friends to go to dinner at 10 while dropping off a crappy coat early in the morning. No, we weren't even open. Oh, and he didn't have one of his teeth.
But you weren't followed or anything.
I mean, he found the laundry. Yeah. I mean, coming home, there were definitely shaded. Like, I took the long way home, and I cut into like one of the other businesses and then went out the back. But they might have been, and like you can tell that she doesn't believe this. Like they might have just been trying to see if I had a coin purse.
Hmm. But they weren't there to help.
No, no. Well, yeah, no. The
Then they
helping me
probably meant.
helping me find my face in the curb, but not. Yeah.
uh,
Um,
and this is something that we do need to communicate to the rest of the group. I mean, it might
yes.
be worth.
Well, I figured Oliver probably wasn't going to be answering the phone at his place, and I didn't want to worry his wards. And I like, Kelly's mom will pick up the phone, and I don't want to make her worried. And I don't even like. Maybe they don't even. Do they have a telephone, or is there just going to be like a telephone in the building? And like,
I haven't made a call upon Kelly, so I don't quite know. But
I can borrow the cab, and but uh, I don't know. I don't know the name, Lord Cecil Davenport, and I wasn't sure if that meant we should go, because really all I wanted to do was accidentally get some gasoline on the coat, but I figured I should tell you anyway.
I don't think this man will be at a loss if his coat is burned and spit upon.
Yeah, maybe
Good
kerosene.
riddance.
That's worse, right?
It might be a tad worse. You could get paint on it, and I don't think it'd matter too much for him. I think his purpose was likely to send you the message and disseminate the message to the rest of us. We should probably let Caduceus know. Uh, but I will get on the horn and try to let the other two know. If you feel unsafe,
So she's gonna kind of like Caduceus should know. Like, who is this
Yeah,
guy?
just
had
fucking
fun.
grip it and rip
I
it,
uh,
baby.
I'm
No, no,
getting
no,
ahe-
not Hope
Slop
knows,
that
but his
down,
boss.
I'm
Jim.
getting ahead of myself,
Yeah,
lass.
Jim, crack one for the big boy.
Joseph Giuseppe, he is a mobster allegedly, but he's been in the news quite a number of times. He had a war with another family, likely a crime family, and they don't get in the news anymore. I'm more worried that you were singled
And
out.
he's gonna like take the cord with the little like receiver bit and like wedge herself as far as she can in a corner behind like a coat not coat hanger. Yes, coat hanger, the standing ones.
Coat rack.
Coat
Coat
hanger
rack.
still coat rack.
Coat rack.
Like
Just hiding desperately from.
We got there.
yeah, like we're so like my voice is gonna like not that I was being particularly loud, but like we're gonna get. He knows where the laundry is.
And as if sensing that she's like getting smaller and whatever, like Cecil gets closer to the wall and corner, almost mirroring what she's doing at the same time. He's like, it's not good news, lass. I'm sure your family is I know your community can come together and protect you in a time of need, but I know that's information that would simply worry your family, and they don't need that kind of trouble. Um, if you feel unsafe, you're probably closer to Kelly Murphy than you are to me, but we can always find you. But you could probably go and visit him, get a good meal with Mama Murphy.
Oh, my my auntie would never let me leave without bringing them food. You know that. The oh, yeah, I should probably let them know. But like, do you think this means we need to meet him?
I have a feeling that if we don't meet him, he's probably one of those people who doesn't take no for an answer and may continue to harass you. Kelly can take care of himself, but his ma is the vulnerable. Um, our our
Yeah,
friend
his
the dear
brothers.
doctor,
Yeah.
he has two youngins. I have my sister here. I wouldn't want them to be exposed in any way.
Okay. All right. I'll see if I can. I'll take the cab and then.
Okay. Did he say
go.
what he wanted to talk about?
Yeah. Wanted to speak about stuff at Caduceus, like recent activities, and you know, he made it sound like an invitation. Like we want to invite you to dinner. Like it was, the. Um,
Keep on your guard. Maybe go visit Murphy, and I'll see if I can get a hold of Oliver. but we should definitely let Caduceus know.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Like, and she's still gonna kind of be like repeating like affirmate and just like hang up the phone. Uh, yeah.
And he just kind of says, good luck last, and then clicks and it fades into her screen.
Yeah. Oh no, we were on the split screen on the phone. No, I was seeing it. Yeah. So she's gonna go and like tell her auntie that she needs to run an errand with the cab, that they like got an order in through the phone for a ride, and like go pick up like jacket and the cap that she can like hide her hair under, and like leave the laundry, step into one of the restaurants that's close by and pick up like steamed buns or something, so that I'm coming with food, so it's not just bad news, right? And get in the cab and head towards Kelly, and yeah.
Okay. I think everyone's able to kind of collect, right? Like you're able to go get Kelly, Cecil's able to reach out towards Oliver, and all of you are able to meet up at a central location, right, to kind of figure this out. There's very much the like, hey, I brought food, everyone's very excited to see this, and then the quick montage of like gathering the forces back together, right? So the question is, where do you all want to meet up? Is Cecil hosting again? Or is this another different location that you'd all like to get together at?
He'd be more than happy to host. I don't know if we would be better protected at Caduceus, or it might be
Yeah.
Oliver's turn to host.
By which we mean it's probably like down the hall, like from his academic office in a, this is the little room where we have a kettle that makes the tea.
Oh, no.
The
Oh,
if
You're on mute.
yeah, Will, if you're talking, you are muted, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Yes, again. Sorry.
Sorry, I brought my cursed rock to this streaming session.
Oh my god! Are you like stupid? Okay.
So
You must.
There we
Hey,
go.
I can hear you now.
I can hear you now.
Nope, you turned yourself off again. There you go.
And
Good.
no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
No, just
Okay.
just as an aside, Cecil, we're two of the more powerful magical adepts in New York. Why are we concerned with somebody who burns down delicatessens?
To be honest,
Because
because
of the
of our
pickles.
family, you have a niece and nephew,
Hmm.
and you can't be there to protect them all the time, magic or not.
They're
Uh,
getting better. I have to say, they are getting better.
That's true.
I would love to see it.
But you're right, of course. We need to think of our friends.
I'll flash cut all of you to Cecil's newly decorated living room.
he,
I get sort of a look to the coffee table.
mhm. The coffee
There's
table
definitely
looks
coffee
back.
table side eye happening there.
Yeah. It's like Kelly, I would have like presented the food to your mom and like, for you and the boys. But Kelly has a training session that we just got called, and they sent me to pick you up.
Oh my god, I almost forgot. Oh, Mom, so sorry. We're gonna have breakfast, but look, what buns? What did you get? Steamed bun?
Yeah, there's like pork on the inside, and it's got like ginger, and like
It's
like
gonna be
searching for like
delicious.
onion. Like how do I describe this so that they're not gonna put them in the trash after this? Like
I'm gonna like grab one and stuff it in my mouth on the way. Oh, okay, let's
Mhm.
go.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
goodbye.
so
Hey,
nice to meet you.
don't be late, because you know how Wade gets when you're late for training. So be safe, Kelly.
So nice to meet
I
you.
love
Mrs.
you, Ma.
Murphy.
Love you too. Thanks for the dumplings, darling. You're real nice.
Yeah.
Come by anytime.
What's going on? Fill me
And,
in the
like,
car.
Wendy will like take the note out from and just like hand it to Kelly as she like opens the door and gets him into the cab. It's like the shadiest dude this morning before we opened came into my aunt's laundry business, and I was at the counter And he made a whole show about it being for me and my friends from this guy. I didn't know the name, but Lord Davenport seemed pretty.
If I may, I'm going to put
pretty
you all in
warm.
the same location for this. That way you don't have to
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
same
okay, yeah.
conversation 4 times. Yeah.
No.
So you kind
This is the note, Kelly.
Yeah.
Now that we are all together in Cecil's,
Yeah.
we'll put it right on the coffee table in the middle there, but not actually touch the coffee table. Just like gently toss the paper towards it, so I don't have to.
Can I roll a history to see if I recognize this Giuseppe?
Absolutely. You and Will can both, or you and Oliver can both do that. As you guys are
Great, I'm not.
all gathering, Saoirse gives you like a look as you pull out paper and like, yeah, she's.
I think they make pasta. I don't know. It sounds familiar somehow.
Nothing.
Yeah. Wendy is now like, oh crap, we didn't bring food for like Cecil and Shusha. Shit. Like, I was raised better than this.
I'm just asking you don't burn down the living room again.
Yeah,
Mindy, a couple of spotted tea and scones, if you.
Of course, Lord Cecil on it. She scurries off.
Oh, I failed a history roll. Look at that.
Oh, dang.
Very good history professor, am I?
So.
Cecil looks at Saoirse and he's like, Saoirse, you know you're part of the crew now, and I suppose he picks up the piece of paper and hands it to her.
She just reads it.
Get familiar with this Joseph Giuseppe.
Is she?
You know you're the more social of the two of us, and probably more clever by half.
I've seen their name in the news a few times, but it didn't stick. Also failed. So yeah.
Last I remember, some kind of war in families and bootlegging and alleged nonsense and crimes all around. That's kind of like looking at everybody.
Oh.
So he says, so this man is serious business, and especially if you tail in Wendy. I mean, I nobody else noticed anybody following them last night, did they?
Well, I didn't have a tail, but my ma said someone was popping by the house and got me real nervous, but I tried to act tough for her, but I'm a little worried about that. I've got to get in contact with some of my gym guys and have them keep an eye on the house for me when I'm not there, because nothing can happen to my ma or those kids.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
any of them need a side job? We do real easy like pickup and delivery stuff, and I'd be real happy to feed and etc. if any of them need just to be around now that they know where we are.
I don't think my ma works, but
yeah, like she means like
probably
people
loves to
from the
cook.
gym. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, your mom
So-
does plenty already. She works hard making sure
True.
that your brothers are eating. Yeah.
So I gotta ask though, like with Giuseppe, what are you gonna do about it?
well, I
For dinner.
say that again, Oliver.
I say, I suppose we'll go to dinner, won't we? Find out what the fellow wants.
Wendy, you did say that he mentioned he wanted to talk about Caduceus and our recent dealings, which means
Some
he knows
activities,
something
activities.
is up.
Yeah. No, he.
I say we should at least drop a line to Caduceus and let them know what we're planning on doing. Oh, but wait a second. No, okay, this is all connected, isn't it? Somebody recently broke into what's his name? Head of
Yeah.
Caduceus's place.
Luca.
Joshua met him.
Oh,
When-
never mind. Yeah, DeLuca was the. Yeah, never mind. Met him.
Yeah.
Yep,
Met him.
said that.
Briefly met him.
I barely know him.
Ah.
Yeah, there it is. Please donate to our cause.
The The only way to be saved from the cult of Yig is to donate on Live from the Apocalypse.
Ah, yes, yes. With enough donations, we will save the world.
And we will pun for you for days. Do you, most definitely this is connected. Especially if they're like, we want to know more about Caduceus. They broke in. I don't know if they made off with anything, but that's what I learned from my driver.
Well, I mean,
Who
it's a
do we
huge
let?
organization. There's wheels within wheels. Certainly, we don't know the whole of its operation. It could be related to our work in Bolivia. It could not. But the only thing we need is more information.
It's true. Well, we do have some time before our supposed dinner at 10 p.m. Seems a little late, but I have some errands to run. I don't know if somebody wanted to stop by Caduceus and let them know.
If you have errands to run, well, how about I take you, and while you're doing your stuff, like Wendy's idea of like what could errands look like for this person is like, like I can stop into the offices. Who do you think we should tell? Like, I mean, obviously, Mr. Medham's very busy, and like, I don't. It might be funny if we let Shekels know, but
I think Shekels deserves to know, most definitely. I mean, he'll report it to the proper people.
yeah, I'll pick you up with a bandolier of something. Yeah.
Yes, the only thing I have to do is I do have to go to Arturio's family and just give my regards.
Okay,
I'm sure
that'll
Caduceus-
take a little bit of time, so you can, does anyone else want to come to the Caduceus office? And who do we? What was the guy that gave us the like, you just did this and this is what happened and I'm going to tell you what happened again. What was his name?
Quentin?
Wendy's trying to describe a debriefing, but like, what do you call them? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Quentin.
Sure, Quentin.
Yeah.
Or
Quentin,
Frank, or one of them.
Oh.
Yeah. Who's the? Yes.
yeah, Quentin.
Quentin with his trademark red bow tie.
Mhm.
He tends to wear
Right.
it.
Yeah.
How could we forget?
You guys were there and did this, but I'm going to tell you the thing that you did again. That one. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Any
Anybody else
takers?
coming?
Any takers?
I'm in.
Doctor?
I actually haven't been home yet. I really need to go see the kids, so I can't join you, unfortunately.
That makes sense. All right. So Murphy, Wendy, you're on Caduceus duty. We should meet up probably an hour beforehand so we can go all go in together, perhaps at 9 o'clock at.
Yes. Wendy's going to be kind of like, I have the cab.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
I'll meet up with Dr. Insuni. Is that his last name?
Yeah.
Forget. Arturo.
Yeah. Arturo Insuni, yeah.
Okay. I'll meet up with Arturo's family. That shouldn't take too long. But I did also want to see if I could spend a little bit of time with Tyrannish. But
Okay.
we'll see what gets done and what doesn't. But I'll meet you at 9 o'clock. Perhaps we all meet here.
Ready, break. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get it.
Yeah.
And everyone
All
just
right. So
scatters. Right?
yeah, Wendy will drive you to Arturo's with Kelly, and then we'll go to the Caduceus office so we can. Like, these are the people whose names we know. Can someone find them so we can tell them a thing that happened?
Okay.
Like the poor reception secretary has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah.
Her name is Dolores, and she's a darling.
Yes.
She's actually a character in the book, and it makes me very happy.
Good. As it should be. That's the most important person in the building right there.
Mhm.
Okay.
So you separate to take care of a bunch of stuff. Oliver, we'll start with you, right? You head back home. What is it? You finally you traveled before, right? So the idea of like the homecoming routine is nothing new to you, but there is still a certain level of comfort and relaxation that comes with just seeing the house and seeing everything just the way you left it. And well, it's home, right? It's a safe, wonderful place. What are your thoughts as you're kind of pulling up?
Well, I've got a couple artifacts to put onto the shelf in my study. I'm gonna have to make some room, and let's see, what day is it? Is it a weekday? I don't know. Will the kids be around, or will they be out and about?
I should be around.
Let's see. They should be around. Yeah, so I'll you know go probably through the gate to the backyard, since my study opens up onto the back garden, and walk in there so I can arrange these things, and collect myself a minute before I go say hello. Um, and so I walk into my study, and you're right, it's homey, it's nice, it helps ground me a little bit, since I'm so much up in the air anymore.
Mm-hmm. Um, how do I want to do this? Do me a favor and roll luck.
Rolling luck? No.
No,
Oh wait, luck I go over, right?
under. Under good.
So, is luck over or under?
Under.
Under? Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah. You walk into the study. Everything is as it should be, right? Um, as you get situated, you can hear the kids in the house. Bradley's usually pretty quiet. It's actually Sarah who makes a ton of noise. Tends to just like have a dramatic air about her as she just moves about, whereas Bradley's usually just in a corner reading somewhere. But will often start to, when prompted, go into his newest reading. But yeah, you can hear them, and as you're kind of going around getting settled, you dropped your bags. You can hear the voice of Bradley from the other room saying, "Oliver, are you back?"
Indeed, indeed I am.
You hear like a
Back from the wilds of South America with many an interesting tale and some new jewelry I want to tell you about.
oh, holy Sarah, hey, Oliver's back. Down the stairs.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Hello, my dears. Hello.
Hey, wow, welcome back. Oh, you look great. How
Yeah,
was it?
I'm sorry I was gone so long, but yes, I'm uh, tan as a nut and slightly singed. Very strange place, Bolivia. I wouldn't recommend it.
Hmm. Oh, strange how they both like pull out their little pocket journals and are just ready to studiously take notes.
All in time, all in time. We'll debrief, I suppose, on the expedition later. But please tell me what's been going on here.
Well, had some of your grad students called. They had some follow up information. They dropped it off. I think you got the same stuff. They had left a copy at the office. Outside of that, we were okay. So I know you said that we're still young and kind of studying stuff and weren't ready for practical applications. And then Sarah just kind of says, I think we're ready to actually try some new stuff, right? We want to actually, we don't want to sit on the sidelines. Like,
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but do me a favor and open the flue on the chimney.
uh, okay. Like Sarah goes over and like Bradley between the two of them like kind of climb under, open the flue.
All right, and stand back
They both
and
take multiple steps back.
motions them to the side side of his study,
Mm-hmm.
and Oliver sort of with a dramatic flair for him, kind of tugs at his sleeve a little bit, reveals the gold serpent,
Mm-hmm.
you know, bracelet torque thing, which they can see is like pretty well attached to his flesh,
Yep.
and points it at the fireplace and lets lets fly. You know, there's this woomph sound, and the air gets sucked into the room through the windows and up the chimney, and they see this gout of flame.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, strike the fireplace. It actually cracks one of the bricks, which I wasn't expecting, but it's you know, but I think it's fairly impactful in this small, quiet, dusty room.
100%. Yeah, I don't care how small the room is. I said I cast fireball. No, you let off with this dramatic flame strike, and immediately like the two of them just like start just perspiring, and are just like
Is
mind's
that
blown at this.
is that the sort of practical application you had in mind?
Uh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Problem
Yeah.
is, I have no idea how to get this damn thing off of my wrist. It might be here forever.
Sarah immediately rushes up and like starts looking at the cool bangle and is like examining it and like just so hyper fixated on this cool new thing. Bradley's kind of hovering back in the corner where he was. He's not uh like you know him well enough to know that he's not scared of you. He trusts you. But he's definitely like okay, didn't expect that as a reaction, right? And Sarah's like, well, okay, well, there's like, is it like a curse thing, or is it simply like we have butter in the fridge? Like, how complicated are we talking here? Is this? Can I sketch this? I want to sketch this. Let me sketch this.
Don't know yet. I got saddled with this thing 2 weeks ago, and it has saved my hide. Like I said, I'll tell you about some of what happened in Bolivia, but much of it you really, really don't want to know. But I don't know if it's a curse, if it's a boon, if it's anything other than this completely inexplicable hunk of gold that shoots fireballs. It's bizarre, and it's the seventh most bizarre thing from that trip.
Both of them just shake, like shake their heads, like what? That's the. I
Your
feel like you buried the lead
your
here.
reaction, young Brad, is correct. You should be cautious because everything like this, and he holds it up again, has a cost to it. So when you say you're ready for a practical application, be mindful that what you're really saying is you're ready to pay a very serious price.
Like nods rather seriously at that, and kind of gathers himself up and says, "Okay, okay. some research to help you figure that out and get it off. Yeah, I think. Okay. I think I have a good start point for that. What's what happens next, I guess, right? Like you're saying that this is one of the less interesting things you found down in South America. Is that should we be worried?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
I think that what was done down there is contained and well, we met someone who I think will be able to teach us a lot more throughout the course of the next year about what was going on there. Um, Maybe eventually we'll learn some more about what was going on in Massachusetts before we had to leave.
Hmm.
Um, but we must tread carefully. That's all I'm saying. I appreciate your appetite for new knowledge. I think that we should study. We should study these phenomena, but we must be careful because you kids, you can pick up something not realizing what it is and trap yourself in it.
They both nod seriously.
But
Um,
but 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 um, I do have something that can help with that. And he pulls a pen out of his pocket, looks like just an ordinary pen, and hands it over to Sarah. Tell me what you think of this.
it's really heavy. Is it like is it made of something special? It's got some serious weight to it. Feels nice though. Kind of, she like takes her notepad and draws a quick sketch on it. Says, "Smooth. It's a very nice pen. Where did you get this?"
Sarah, here's an experiment. Write down the worst thing that has ever happened to you with that pen and tell me how you feel.
The worst thing. Um, what's the worst thing? She like thinks for a second. Covers the notebook and like writes down a couple sentences. Huh. And you see her shoulders kind of relax visibly as she seems to be processing something, and she seems
You don't have to
kind
say
of
what it is.
calm
You don't have to
after
show us
this.
what you wrote. But do you understand that the burden is lessened now?
She like wipes a tear out of one eye and just says, yeah, yeah, wow." You know when when we got the news that Dad wasn't coming back, that hurt a lot, and yeah, um, it's it's better now. That's
This
she
is the sort of
closes the notebook very suddenly.
this is the sort of thing that you two should research. Tools like that can ease the burden of knowledge and improve our ability to study these phenomena. Not tools like this All they do is cause trouble.
Okay. No, I think this is a. Thank you. Right.
Good to be home.
It's good to have you back.
Seriously, tell me what's been going on. What were you about to ask before my gaudy little demonstration?
Oh, yeah, Bradley smiles a little sheepishly. It's like, well, yeah, we were about to ask about like a little more hands-on stuff, so you kind of beat us to it there. Man, you want some tea? I would love. I could go for some tea actually.
Yes.
Let's
Well,
get settled.
I have to tell you about this fascinating stuff from Bolivia, the coca leaves they make a tea. Very energizing.
And I think all of you start to settle back down and like catch up right over the last 2 weeks. This is also school and like what's been going on in life outside of the bizarre, spooky eldritch stuff. But go ahead and roll psychology at advantage.
Psychology. Yep, that advantage, that works.
Cool, mark that success. You know definitively. You spent a lot of time around these kids, right? I mean, they're basically your own at this point. This interaction has definitely made an impact that will probably help them both in the future in very significant ways, just from Sarah's interaction alone, right? So, something you can definitely like feel warm and proud about as you're sitting there drinking this tea and watching them talk like kids at times. You can see a little bit of youth returning. So,
Good.
Yeah.
Hominess intensifies.
Hominess intensifies. It's all wholesome. It's all good. We'll flash cut to Cecil, right? As you get dropped off by Wendy at Arturo's house, you go walking up with a little more caution. I think since people have been followed recently, I think you're keeping your head on a swivel, right?
Mm-hmm.
As
Yeah,
you,
definitely.
As you kind of look down the street, look back and do a double take, you see Quentin sitting in a car parked slightly down the street from Arturo's house. And he's just sitting there, and he seems to be just staring off into space. Engine's running, and he's just like two hands on the steering wheel. It's just like taking deep breaths.
Cecil kind of like smiles, kind of like a little bit like he might know what's going on, and like kind of strides up to the car and like allows himself to be noticeable so he doesn't like startle the poor man, and he just kind of like waits outside the window until the car until he notices Cecil.
He registers you, blinks, kind of shakes his head, turns off the car, steps out, like straightens his jacket and his bow ties. Morning, Cecil. I didn't expect to see you out here. How you doing?
Doing all right. That make two of us. I suppose we're both here to do the same job, aren't we?
Yeah, had to come by and make sure that make sure the family was all right.
They don't know yet, do they?
Nah, we wanted to make sure that there wasn't any error in the reporting before we actually came came over here. You know, not
Hmm.
to say there's anything that you said was wrong, but you know, don't want to jump the gun on that kind of information.
Understood. Um, he relates the experience that he had with Arturo, like his last bits of life, as he was like essentially trying to hypnotize him and keep him in the world of the living. And he just kind of relates that he's like, it's not something I'd be sharing with the family, but I would be sharing the words that he did say to me in order to say to Sophia and Isabella. Would you prefer to do this, or would you like some backup?
I I would like to have a little bit of backup. This is a this is a bad part of my job, um, and unfortunately, working for a group like Caduceus, where things go wrong all the time, and we're always responding to disasters and catastrophes. Sometimes there's good news, and sometimes there's not. It's nice to have someone else along, right? I think that would. I think what you share with me would help Isabella and Sophie a lot,
Hmm.
right?
Uh, I'll be here. Yes, most definitely. There's I don't know how long these things typically take, but I do have some information to share with you afterward. But this should be more pressing.
Of course. Um, let's. All right. Yeah. Follow me, I guess. Right. Straightens his jacket again. And he just walks up to the door, knocks. There's a bit of a delay, and you know, after a few minutes, after a few seconds, a dark-haired middle-aged woman opens the door. She kind of just, uh, yes. Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes, Isabella, Sophia.
It's a little girl poke out from behind her mom's legs, like, "Hi."
Hello there, lass. Uh, like not wanting to upstage his own boss. He's like, well, I am Cecil Davenport, and he just kind of looks at uh at Quentin.
Quentin comes back into focus. Morning. I'm Quentin Shapiro. I work with Caduceus. We have a moment of your time, and comes in and sits down. Isabella says, "Can I get you anything? Tea, coffee?"
Oh, tea would be fine. If you need any help making it, I'd be happy to help.
Uh, you get settled in. You have some tea at the kitchen table, and Quentin kind of goes into um, a prepared speech, right? And you can tell that he's like trying to go down a list of something he's probably being given to talk about, right? Like,
Mhm.
um, I kind of regret to inform you that when Arturo was down in South America, there was unfortunately sustained injuries where he passed away due to fire that we took from rebels while we are trying to help out in a camp. And Isabella just kind of sits there quietly and listens. Says, "Now I wasn't there when that happened, but
I was.
Cecil was." And
Uh, and he like gives a moment, and he says, Isabella, Sophia, um, this is not an easy thing to say. However, you two were the only things on his mind as he went. And he wanted to let both of you know, he told me to let you know, that he loves you, still does, and that truly good things were being done down there. He has no regrets doing the job that he did because of the good that it came from, or that came from it. But he did task me with coming and letting you both know that.
Isabella is kind of quietly processes this and goes to speak a few times and doesn't get anything out. Just says, "Well, I mean, I knew this was a possibility with his work. Um, just you don't think those kind of things are gonna actually happen, you know?
No.
But
Yeah.
I'm. Thank you. It helps to hear that. As he cared so much about people, and that's just. Thank you for that.
Well, I wanted to let you know that everything that he did down there as he was building relationships, as he was a foremost expert in his field, everybody down there survived. Everybody got home that needed to get home. Everybody who needed saving down there was saved. And they couldn't have done that without the groundwork that Otoro did. He was a truly good soul.
She she says, "Oh, that means a lot." And yeah, I'm gonna need some. If I could just have some time, um, alone or with. You know, she looks at Sophie like with the family to.
Oh, of course. Yes.
You know, but thank you.
We'll be out of your way.
And Quentin pulls a small envelope out of his jacket. It's got a bunch of papers in it, and he just like sits on the counter and says, "I'll come back at a future date, and I can make sure everything else is taken care of because Caduceus is going to handle a bunch of things, but we'll do that another day." And she, thanks the two of you and kind of sees you out. Quentin says to you, kind of stand on the porch as you're walking, or as you're walking down the porch and back to the cars, says, "You know, this makes me sad because I know in my heart of hearts, like, in a job like this, you can't save everyone, right? But
Right.
it's, it still pisses me off when we don't, you know?"
I understand that we are not here for very long, in the grand scheme of things, at least from my perspective. You can do all you can to try and wrestle a hurricane, but there's very little that we can do. I think I would like to say that I believe in what Caduceus is doing. I believe in its quest, its mission statement. I'm glad to be a part of it. But from what you're saying, what you said the other night, it seems like danger lurks and encroaches ever closer. you're probably saving more lives than you think.
He like
That might not soften the blow.
uh, always helps to keep that in perspective, right? He looks back at the house and at his car and says, "All right. You said you had something else that you need to talk to me about."
Yeah, this is a lot more worldly
All right.
and probably easier to control and prepare for. And he like lets them know everything, like Wendy being followed, the fact that people were hanging around Ma's place, and threatening Murphy's ma, um, the the worst of crimes, and the fact that like it's quite possible that Oliver and Cecil, while very perceptive, can also be a little bit like space cadet might have also been followed. Um, so the most and least perceptive. Um, so he's like, and there it is. We're set up to meet at 10 p.m. tonight. But I mean, obviously they did their best to scare a little girl, a brave one, but they did their best to scare her rather than come into somebody like Murphy, who'd most likely nail their face to the wall. So that's how ugh, seedy they are.
I don't like the sound of that at all. But all right, I'll let Frank know. Definitely try to increase some security, right? Because again, you're 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 the ones helping us out, so we're not going to leave you out in the cold.
Much appreciated.
You know,
Um,
can't afford to have more people get hurt, right?
mm, but they do seem to know about. They wanted to talk about your activity, but I am no inspector. Might have something to do with the break-in that Medham had.
He gives you a look when you mention that.
And he like realizes like, oh, he may have spoken out of turn, and he was just like, you can't keep secrets from this one, and just kind of like extraordinarily kind of like points out his head.
Yeah, he like gives you a smile. It's just like, all right. I was
Extrasensory perception. You can't really hide too much.
he like just shakes his head. Damn telepaths walking around. All right, look.
Glad I'm working for you, lad.
Yeah, it was a bit of a break-in. Don't know who was responsible for it or what they wanted, but I think you might be on something.
Hmm.
Um,
Uh,
I mean,
Murphy and Wendy are on their way over to you right now.
all right. I'll run this up the chain, but I'll say this right now, based on what you're saying, we can put a few people outside that restaurant if you need a little bit of backup. But I'd be curious as to what they have to say to you. You know, see if they're actually tied to this kind of break-in or not. Because Frank's at a loss.
Sounds like we'll take the dinner then.
So, don't have to, but you got the invitation. Can't hurt, right?
I
Make sure we have a few people outside just in case things get a little weird. But with Giuseppe, it tries not to mix business and violence too often. I guess pleasure and violence. It tries not to be too violent.
I see.
Where he,
It makes me feel so much safer.
The Gone Green Cafe is one of his establishments. If he's gonna get violent or weird about it, he's not gonna do anything there. He's a smart enough person to know that that's a good way for him to go to jail, and DA would love to have any excuse to go after him. So,
Understood.
nevertheless, we'll have people to make sure that you're covered, but it should be in good hands. If he wants to talk, I think he seriously wants to talk.
Thank you.
But yeah, basically the two of you like finish up your conversation and start heading your separate ways, right? He's like, I got a lot of stuff to take care of. I got a lot of people to brief before this happens tonight, but we'll make sure we got people there for you.
Very good. I'm just going to drop a word with Sersha, and then I was hoping to speak to Tyranish, even so briefly.
If you can get on her, if you can get it, well, welcome try. She's busy, but absolutely. Going back to Caduceus headquarters, right? Wendy and Kelly come rolling up. Go ahead and roll spot hiddens. You come rolling up.
I don't suck at that. Yay.
So.
Except right now, because that's a 79 and I have a 65, so no, that's a fail.
It's all good. Oh, success?
It's a success. I made a face because I can't, for whatever reason, mark my spot hidden.
Oh.
It like won't let me check it. It's fine.
Lame.
I'll figure it out.
Lame.
I'll make a note.
I
got 11.
Cool. Oh, you got 11?
I got 11.
Good roll. Okay. Is that an extreme success for you?
Just a great.
Okay. Still good. So, you come rolling up. Kelly, you kind of you look around, and you notice that there's a vibe, right? As you come up to Caduceus, you know when people are ready for a fight, right?
Yeah.
And you get dropped off, and you look around, and you can feel that kind of pre-fight tension, and it causes you to kind of take a look, and you start to see that no, you're not about to get ambushed. You don't think, but there are definitely more people that you would probably label as security around Caduceus, right? Some of them dressed in the actual like security jackets. Some of them are in casual clothes around the area, but you look at them and you go, that guy looks like he's ready for a fight. Not that newspaper is upside down. Wait a sec, it's not that blatant, but you can ID these people who are very clearly watching the building and watching the area.
I was about to say, do they shift that focus towards us as we enter, or is it kind of like a staring beyond us at what might come in behind us sort of deal?
The main security, as you come walking up, they give you a look, but you recognize a few of them, right? And so when you show your badges, they're like, okay, yeah, come on in. Okay. The security outside the building, they're just watching. They don't react to you in any way. There's a little bit of shift of like maybe weight that you would think about somebody like shifting under the balls of their feet and then like relaxing, and that's probably the extent of it, but you see it.
If any of the guys on the floor as we enter I recognize, I'm gonna kind of motion to Wendy just to like slow down a little bit and kind of lean closer to him and say like, what's going on? Y'all are giving me the heebie-jeebies. What's happening?
Oh, this is easy. Frank comes down, right? Frank DeLuca, and he goes, hey, I want to just apologize in advance about the extra security, right? Real sorry. We had a couple of incidences, not a big deal, but the bottom line is we're just being a little more cautious and making sure that everything's taken care of, right? So your badges are still good. You shouldn't have any issues getting in and out of the building. If anybody gives you any trouble, let me know. You're cleared, at least up to the 17th floor, right? So.
What happened?
Inventory, right? Basically people stealing a little bit of stuff. Like, it's.
Anything dangerous that we need to know about?
He looks around the lobby, kind of like pulls you off to the side and says, look, between you and me, there's a lot of stuff that Caduceus is working with that's, well, it's expensive and vulnerable, right? We're shipping,
Sure.
food, medicine, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of places, and sometimes people think they can just take that for themselves. So, get and roll psychology if you'd like.
Okay.
So a little extra security, right?
Seems like a lot of extra security. No, that's a no. I don't know anything.
That's a great success.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
I rolled a fucking 2. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
I think that should be an excellent success
Which
for
is
you.
good because my psychology is terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark that.
Checking that box.
Yeah.
All right.
He is. The mannerisms he has don't track, right? Frank is a pretty straightforward dude. Every time you see him, he's a real straight shooter. This is probably true, what he's telling you about, like, Caduceus shipments being targeted and, like, having issues with logistics. It doesn't match up to why the building has been
right.
plussed up in security. It seems likely that it's a good feint for him, right? Trying to explain this to you without actually telling you about it. But you also know that, the boss's house was broken into a couple days prior, so that's probably the real reason for it.
Got it.
But, so, yeah, just try to make sure things run like clockwork. Bottom line is,
All
it
right.
shouldn't affect you, and shouldn't cause too much trouble. So, are you? If you're here to see Quentin, he's out, by the way, on an errand. But Shekels is around, and I can help you out with anything you need if you just came by for me. Library access, supplies. What do you got? What do you need?
18th floor?
18th floor. So.
You said we had clearance until the 17th, so Wendy's just being an asshole. But yes.
he kind of laughs. He's like, look, I like my job, so we'll just you're funny. I like that. So
Listen, we appreciate your diligence, and the security is welcomed, albeit a little frightening as you walk in, but it's good.
that's what we're going for. So I appreciate it. So.
Hard to argue with it when the whole reason we're visiting you is creepy people. And then she'll stop and be like, "Not you, creepy people. Tall, hook-nosed, bad laundry, creepy people." Just to clarify.
Mm-hmm. Let's go upstairs and talk.
18th floor?
Close. So.
McDonald's.
It takes you back up to that same library / conference room. You're getting pretty familiar with it. You didn't get to flesh it out. There's a ton of books there. There's a ton of study area. There's like a small a small bar, and there's places where you can get food in the area, right? Not necessarily cafeteria, but just small snacks. And he goes up there and says, "So, creepy people, what's up with that?"
Her presence was requested at my family owns a laundry business. I'm sure you guys know this. And he came in before we were open in the morning. Didn't give me his name or anything. Tall, hooky nose, and he was missing one of his teeth. And she's gonna describe it, and then as she does everything, kind of smush her nose when she talks about the hook nose, and and then and the wearing the kind of stuff that clearly was somebody else's cast off, so he could have the dress code bit. We're gonna lose his coat, but he gave me a note that we we're supposed to meet up at 10 for this invitation, me and my friends, about the recent activities at Caduceus. He didn't even say hi to my auntie. Like, super rude. So
Yeah, he sits and listens, and he's like, okay.
yeah, and like Wendy will like remember that she has or like doesn't have the paper anymore because it's like on the coffee table in, Cecil's house. She'll be like, yeah, so the Green Garden Cafe and Joseph Giuseppe, which like Lord Davenport did not seem particularly excited about that like name being involved. That he's not a
That's not great.
not a good guy.
Look,
The word crime was used. Yeah.
do me a favor, stay put. I'm gonna make some quick phone calls, okay? But yeah, I'm glad you said something, right? And he,
Like, Wendy's gonna like point over at like wherever the like snacky bits are and like
oh yeah,
side
no,
like
help yourself.
grab walk over to like it's like she's watching him make this call, but we're gonna be like there's like boiled peanuts over here. Like, this is where we're hanging out.
Oh, he like straight walks out of the room, and like he leaves the door open, and there's like I said some drinks, there's some snacks, a ton of books, and you're kind of just left by yourselves in this conference area. There's a back room where they keep more stuff locked up for like the same files they showed you on the inner night, like the more sensitive, spooky crap. They keep it locked up, but I mean you have access to the area, so he has no issues leaving you there.
Yeah, like Wendy's gonna put like the things that she perceives as like healthier in like a little like napkin or a bowl and put that in front of Kelly, and then like go back for the like the stuff that I really want.
Kelly does not hesitate. The bowl is clean.
Like, well, we'll stand like near-ish to that area that's locked off without like I'm imagining like the like chain link cages like where they have the like sensitive materials that were like the evidence lockup. So like I can kind of see some of what's in there if I stand nearby, but maybe not make it like ridiculously obvious that we're seeing how tight security is with your padlocks here.
Security is pretty good, but you can absolutely mess with it. Do you want to try to open this thing up and?
No, she just wants to like, because like that's also probably gonna make some noises, right? Like, and like, she's a good enough girl that she's not, gonna be, but we want to stand close enough to get a sense of like what are the titles of the things that you decided that the rest of us can't,
There's a bunch of spooky crap back there. Hey, roll spot hidden. Right. There are books. There are files in like very well organized file cabinets. There are.
Yeah. No, sorry, that's a fail.
Okay. A lot of the books are in foreign languages or runes and symbols that you do not understand. You get as when he kind of gets close to this though, can feel the temperature just plummet about 15 degrees. As you just have this like collection of dark artifacts and tomes, basically, all consolidated in this one back area. There's a lot of spooky nonsense back there for sure. As you're kind of processing this, you can hear footsteps coming back through the main conference room area. And they're different though. You hear step, click, step. Step, click, step.
Step, click, step.
Mm-hmm. Step.
Is that a cane?
Mm-hmm. Someone walking with a cane.
Do we know anyone who walks with a cane?
So.
I don't. Okay.
Walking around the corner is.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, that was an M.
Okay. Yeah, I got the first two.
Yeah.
Nope. No.
Like, how do we spell his last name? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna take a big ol' like side step further away from the forbidden section area. Like, this is not what I was doing. This book seems exciting. Yeah.
And yeah, into the conference room walks, Joshua Medham, right? It's again just white hair, kind of combed down, long white beard, very carefully kept in a very very nice suit. Kind of older gentleman, probably in 60s plus, right? And just like crystal blue X-ray vision eyes almost. They're just laser focused on the future, not the now. And comes walking in with his cane. He's got a bit of a leans a little heavy to the left, and simply stops and stares at the two of you.
And he's gonna put the book back, like in the place where it came from, like slide it.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Have not formally met, but I am Joshua Medham. I'm the head of this company. Heard very promising things about the two of you. I just wanted to take a moment. And as he's talking, he slowly is like moving into the room to get a little closer. And he starts to like assess, right? He makes very, very intense eye contact. He says, I just wanted to take a moment to see what the future of this operation will look like with you at the helm. And I think we are in a good place.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's very nice to meet you. Sorry we touched the books. Kelly's uncomfortable. Does not do well with authority or like some rich person that is in the room like has no idea how to handle this diplomatically. He's like trying to remember things that Cecil might have said and like indubitably.
Yeah. Yeah, like Wendy was like having major like imposter syndrome moment, and then like as soon as he says like at the helm, it's like, is he actually like, because he hasn't said our names yet, right? So like there's that like like maybe he doesn't mean us, like like that's not, nobody said helm. Helm was not a discussion that we've had before, like, so she's gonna be like canting her eyes back over to Kelly, like, thank you, one, for talking, but also like, is this definitely for us? Like, Mr. DeLuca stepped out.
Mr. Medham smiles and simply extends his hand to shake Kelly's hand, and then
how strong's his grip?
Actually, his hands are incredibly soft.
Oh.
Hey, real psychology.
I suck at this. God damn it.
Or I guess,
Okay.
let's see, another would be, I'll let you roll fighting brawl if you want to.
I will. That's better. That's much better odds than a 10, so
Yeah.
I'll take my 77. Fuck! Got an 89.
Good fighting.
So
I'm so flustered.
yeah, just Yeah,
My hands are really sweaty. I don't even notice.
this interaction is all over the place. You can't get a read on him to save your life. It is unexpected.
Great.
You just want to fight him, and and you just don't. You like bob and weave. I don't know. Like, but
Wendy, help.
he shakes your hand in a very like friendly
Wendy
way,
cannot
right?
help you.
He doesn't try to crush your grip. He doesn't try to exert any type of weird. He just simply shakes your hand in a formal way, turns to Wendy, does the exact same thing. Just goes to shake Wendy's hand and says, I am expecting big things from both of you.
Like what? Sorry, I feel
Yeah.
like we missed a step. You.
Oh.
Wendy will have been like staring at his hand as he like puts it out. Like, I can do this. You know how to shake a hand. Put yours forward, hold, up, down, let go, back. Like,
He starts walking towards the door, the step, clack step, as you say, to do what? And he turns back and says, change the world, of course.
Right. Yep.
And proceeds to walk out. Out in the hallway, you can catch a glimpse of, if you remember his bodyguard that was following him around, is just loitering out in the hallway. The 7 foot tall in a custom basically tuxedo with Corinthian column arms. Was just kind of casually waiting for him, and he just proceeds to leave and head about to the rest of his day.
I look down at Wendy the same way that if I had met some famous person, what? That just happened? What was he talking about? What did I miss?
soft hands.
He had soft hands. I was sweating so bad I didn't even notice.
Like Wendy's gonna say it in a kind of like it's a little bit like he's like an engineer-y person, right? Like he works with stuff. Soft hands, huh? He didn't say save the world. He said change the world. Also, do you actually does he know our name? Maybe this is just the oh, hey, we found 2 people that are clearly lost and shouldn't be messing around in my library. And if I go in and say hi, they're going to be really flustered and no longer look at our books.
Well, he left us in here with the books, so we can still look at them.
Yeah.
That was strange.
At the helm.
We have time to process this later.
We'll process this later.
Yeah, no, Wendy's gonna like yes, big nod to that, and we're just gonna sit here and take another peanut and wait for Frank to come back.
Yeah.
Sit on top of my hands in this chair and just wait for Frank to come back.
After a few more minutes, Frank comes back. He's like, "Hey, sorry about the wait. I managed to get a hold of Quentin. Turns out he actually got to talk to Cecil about this as well, Lord Davenport. So bottom line is we're gonna help out. If you want to go to this dinner tonight, we'd love to know what's going on. We're gonna make sure there's some other people out there to. Are you good? You look like you both look kind of off.
I definitely didn't touch any books.
You can touch the books. It's a library. You're welcome to. You just have it. Yeah. You can just touch the books. You can read them if you
Peanuts
want.
are good.
Those are also free. Help yourself. It's good to feed the body and your mind. All right. Well, yeah. So if you if you go to dinner tonight, just let us know. We'll have some people there to help you out if things get weird, but don't think it'll get that weird.
Pretty weird. Yeah.
All right, so yeah.
Right.
We're like, look at Kelly and be like, do we say something? Do we say something? Like, does he know? Like, yeah.
Listen, we had a visitor while you were gone.
Oh?
Wendy? You wanna
Mr.
tell him
Medham
who?
is very intense.
Oh, you met Mr. Medham, yeah. He's a hell of a guy. But
How much does he know about what we're doing specifically?
he's taken a very special interest in your exploits in South America. He was after you called back and said there were some issues down
At this
there.
point, the reel of like setting a monkey on fire, getting hit by a car. Like,
The highlights.
Yeah, the highlight reel just plays in the background.
that might not be a good thing.
Mm-hmm. When you called and told us that everything with Tyrannish, everything with the Inner Night, the second that all started to come out, he was directly involved. So, how do you think we got an army basically out of nowhere in South America, right? But
Cool.
yeah, he cares about success, and he'll get it by any means necessary.
Great.
But yeah,
Praising doesn't necessarily make Wendy feel better, but yeah.
No.
Yeah. Like, okay. Like, he knows I blew up a monkey.
So I'll leave you to it. You get the badges. You can always head down whenever you're done. But I'll let. Like I said, we got everything together. If you need a place to set up beforehand, cool. If not, we'll have people in place. You let us know. Run everything through Quentin. I take care of the building. He takes care of everything outside of it. So yeah, he'll make sure you're set up for success. But outside of that,
Appreciate it.
yeah, I'll leave you to it.
We're meeting with at Lord Davenport's house before going, but if you're offering extra eyes, that would be nice. And like it just like hits Wendy that she's like has to go to like dinner. It's like, there's like a closet here, right?
Hey, what, need some new clothes or something? Is that? Yeah, we can figure something out.
Yeah, like she's gonna look at Kelly and be like, yeah, like.
Cool. I like this. So
Montage.
here's what we're gonna do. He's like, yeah, I think we can figure some stuff out. If you're gonna go to dinner on Caduceus' behalf to figure out what they're up to, I think we got you. Let's take a break here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flash cut to like the hour before dinner when we come back. But anybody who wants to can go pick up some fancy clothes on the way. And I'd be curious to see what you pick up. So
the backup plan is to like raid the things at the dry cleaner. So yeah.
Caduceus has so much money. Just use their
Yeah,
corporate card.
that's where it's like they've gotta have something here, right? And it's gonna have like a pocket that opens to a different dimension, and it's gonna be fine. Yeah,
It's got dimension pockets.
just what every girl needs.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Cool.
They're the latest
True.
fashion.
Yeah. We'll take 5. We will be back, and stay tuned for more shenanigans. All right, we're back, and we are ready to continue this adventure. So, once again, you all find yourself in Cecil's living room, parlor, sitting room, fancy Fancy words for a cool place to hang out.
Stately.
Oh, yes, this stately living room.
Meanwhile, in the stately sitting room.
Of course. And you are planning your dinner with Joseph Giuseppe. Got about an hour to go. You'll plenty of time to get there. The question I have, since you had a little time to go shopping, is what's the vibe? What are people wearing? What's the fit status?
I want to go first.
Get it. Do it.
It's gonna be like a nice suit jacket, like a double-breasted suit jacket, with like a thin taper pant, like high-waisted, and then like a collarless button-up white shirt underneath with like, I don't know, grayish black. It's not like a solid black, but it's a gray black. The suit and the pants match.
Nice.
And like just a little too tight around the arms and the chest.
Like, look, it's like a nice medium suit where you've had to like reach up. You couldn't quite get your hands over your head. Like, you can't just quite. Yeah.
Fully range of motion is probably limited if I didn't want to rip the suit. Worst comes to worst, the suit's getting ripped, but
just hulk out of it. Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Nice. Yeah, so like Wendy would have found the it's like 1930s, so it's like mid calf length bit. She's got just like her little like almost like saddle shoe bit going on. It's the nicest thing she owns. They're like well maintained, but it's a shoe because she felt weird like taking high heels from Caduceus, partly because like they definitely have a knife in the heel or something. And, it's got like a little polka dot pattern in like blue or something. Like shorter, like little like fluttery calf sleeves, and then it's got one of those like ties on the like right at the collar bit, like not like a real V-neck or anything, like little like tiny little bow like tied bit. And there's like a little like red ribbon belt and a like bit of it that she stuck in her hair on the one side. Like it doesn't curl the way that like it's fashionable to do like the, you know, wave long curls, so it's just kind of like pulled and then tied with the red so that it matches the bit. Like, you know, she kind of looks like she's going to like a PTA meeting, but you know, it's nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, and the whole thing is just a little big. Like it is definitely like she did not pick this for the like how it hangs on her. It's just like it fits in that I fit inside of it, but it is not like figure flattering or anything, because one, she doesn't really have much of one, and two, like, you know, she would not dream of getting something that's gonna like show off her assets. So yeah.
Dig it. Very cool. Who's next?
There we go. So Lord Cecil Davenport comes out just a little bit after people have arrived. And he's wearing like a high white collar. His hair is like a little bit more like crimped. Unlike a lot of people, I think mostly in America around this time, like he still kind of like has facial hair and but make sure it's prim and proper. He is wearing the special eye that he was given, the pendant, and that has kind of like a periwinkle kind of opal look to it, which matches his eyes. And trim suit. He's around 6 foot, black on black, except for the white collared shirt, and cufflinks set match. But he passes a portrait. It's like a family portrait of what you would assume his father, his mother, his sister is obviously there, and him. In the painting, his eyes are like this deep, intense blue, very much unlike what his eyes are right now. So he comes out and kind of smiles right next to it and comes out to you guys you're looking dashing.
Excellent.
Yeah, Oliver's in sort of your standard professorial get up, It's the 1930s. Suits are very wide. Yes, there's herringbone and elbow patches. There might be a waistcoat. In the pocket of the waistcoat might in fact be a Colt Navy revolver, because we're going to see mobsters. But yeah, newsy cap and a I don't know, hiking boots or something sort of incongruous and woodsy.
Nice.
Mhm.
Cool. Yeah, all of you are dressed to impress, and ready to rock. Any last minute preparations? The Caduceus, Quentin talked to you. He told you there would be about a half dozen, basically security people out there within the area. So if something does go wrong, they give you a location across the street to basically book it to, and they would get you in a car and get out of there. So that's what they have to help you out. And he's like, I got all that covered. Just if it goes bad, we'll know and we'll be ready. So,
because Saoirse has a date with Spencer, the pilot, tonight,
she does.
She's probably also getting ready. But he kind of lets her know. He's just like, he gives her the low date down like earlier in the evening, but just kind of like lets her know that they're getting into trouble again, but like he'll be safe. But he wants to make sure that Spencer's keeping her safe.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Wendy is probably helping her like pin up her hair or something, and in the meantime being like, it's a garden cafe, so like I don't need gloves, right? Like just the hat, no gloves, right? No gloves. And like she'll like gesture down, like I have socks with the shoes. Is anybody gonna care? I have socks with the shoes.
You don't need the gloves, but if you want a pair, I've got a pair of gloves you can always borrow.
And she'll like fish in one of the pockets in the thing and be like, they had gloves. I brought gloves, but
oh, good.
I don't need gloves, right?
No, you don't need anything, but they look good. They bring the outfit together. So if you like them, you wear them.
Like, help do the final pinning flowers or whatever it is that Saoirse's got in her hair. I'm imagining like little like Lily of the Valley bits like getting
absolutely
tucked in with her hairpins, and something that like smells good, but like kind of old world, like little bit of a nod.
She's more than happy to like give you the pointers, right? And as she's getting ready to leave, she has that conversation with Cecil, and she says, honestly, it's not me you should be worried about. I mean, I'm going out with Spencer, but you're going to meet the mafia, so
Oh, we are. I suppose I just. Perhaps it's simply a sibling thing where I feel a little bit more worried about you than I should be for myself.
So, well, I appreciate the concern, and take care of yourself, all right? I know you know how to talk to people, but you never know with these types. Sometimes it gets a little messy.
True. Cecil like takes a minute, and then he's just like, if y'all wish, I could take a look in and try to see if they're preparing for us and what's going on.
Cecil, I know I've voiced this objection before, but these are petty criminals. We're not operating on the same scale. Let's just go see what they want and then be done with it.
That is true. Why waste the effort?
Cool.
And then he looks like he's gonna go like sit down and get comfortable for spacing out, and then he's like, I think we'll be fine. You're quite right.
Very cool. You all head out, right? Get into a car, get dropped off in front of the Garden of the Green Cafe.
I was just about to say, like, Wendy's not going to want to take their normal cab. Just like, I don't want them to follow me.
Now you're able to flag down somebody else. They'll drive you there. that's all taken care of. Yeah, they drop you off at a nice looking upscale restaurant in downtown Manhattan, with like large red doors with like a little bit of gold filigree on them, looking very fancy. You can hear some ambient noise from inside. You can see through the windows that they look relatively busy even at 10 o'clock at night, right? There's definitely a bit of hustle and bustle going on. And standing out front is the same hook-nosed gentleman that Wendy saw at the dry cleaners. It's kind of just like skulking, if you will, by the front door, like leaning back against the wall, his arms kind of crossed, and just
Wendy's gonna like elbow Kelly a little bit. Like, that one.
Got it.
mm-hmm.
He
And
was rude. But seeing how fancy it is, she's gonna slip the gloves on before they get out of the car. Like, oh shit, yeah, okay, we got it.
yeah, even this guy's wearing like a jacket and tie now. It's like, oh, good. I see you brought your friends.
I see that your socks don't match. She can't see. She's just saying it anyway.
I got dressed in the dark. What do you want?
Pleasure to meet you. I suppose we're dining out here then, or do we go inside?
Oh, no, I got a table for you. So follow me. And he proceeds to just open the doors up, walk past like the front lobby, past like a nice little artisanal waiting area, past the place where the hostess would wait, into a like down a couple stairs into a very nice restaurant area, and heads straight across the restaurant, like into the back area. There's like a little section off, private room, and you can see people kind of like, laughing and enjoying their night out. They're people in just like beautiful dresses and very nice suits. There's very expensive bottles of wine being poured out here. The smells are amazing, and this guy just beelines it right for the back.
When they like step in, like assuming we can see him do the entire walk to it, like, this is a nice place, and I am not going to get a chance to necessarily do this same like hobnob with. So like, she's gonna stop at the door and where like the person is for coat check, like take off the coat and fold it over her arm, and like unpin the hat and put the hat on the coat, and then we can start walking back. Like,
yeah, he like,
I'm not booking it for you, asshole. Like, no.
He turns back and like just gives you an impatient like, just waits. Looks grumpy while you're getting settled in and like getting the pampering treatment from the hostess. Like, is just like,
we're gonna slowly unbutton the gloves then and fold them into the hat and like,
yeah. Cecil looks very impressed. He's just like, oh, well done, Wendy. Oh, you've been learning some stuff from Saoirse. Is that what you're all up to?
I did ask, yes.
And then Cecil like takes off his coat and
oh my god,
folds his scarf and then puts it on top and then tips her, or tips the coat person. So
the guy, he's sitting there like he looks over at a table.
Guy halfway through the dining room, he turns around, sees what they're doing, flings his newsboy cap like a frisbee.
You'll get it. Yeah.
Mafioso with you guys, like, just looks so impatient, reaches over and like just takes some of the wine and puts it into a spare glass off of someone's table and just like starts drinking it. And then like the guy starts to say something, he just gives him a look like,
I'm missing a tooth.
Perfect. Yeah.
Out here.
He looks at Kelly like, you gonna leave your jacket, or like, are we good? Just...
Nah, I'm good.
All right.
Great.
Yeah.
Cecil takes Wendy's arm.
Let's go.
If she allows him to.
Yeah. I won't immediately recognize that I have to do that and then be like, oh, right. Like, No, thank you. Yeah, like, right. That's a thing. People do that. Yes. Okay.
He walks you back into a private room, and there's a small, very comfortable looking table set up, right? And sitting at the head of this table, Cecil, you recognize the news photos, is Joseph Giuseppe, right? And he's dressed to the nines in a very, very nice dark charcoal gray, like suit vest and tie combination. He's got kind of like salt and pepper hair, just like a chiseled jaw, like made out of pretty much iron, basically, and just like a thick upper body that looks just one solid block. But he doesn't have a menacing vibe, right? He's just sitting there casually, eating some food, and he sees you all walk in and kind of wipes his face with a napkin and like turns his, very green, very practical eyes right towards you all. It's a man who just means what he says, right, and is very focused on getting things done. And he just gestures to the 4 seats set up in front of you. So you can imagine long table, seat, and he's at the head, right? And says, "Hey, it's a good thing they had some time to come down and talk to me, right? So thank you for taking my invitation. Please have a seat."
Oh, thank you so much for having us. And Cecil's very gentlemanly. He like pulls out the seat for Wendy, make sure she's seated.
Did he like get up when we came in, like, or is he just still?
No, he's still sitting. So.
Okay.
Are you keeping count of all the rudeness?
Mm.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's so petty. I love it. But yeah, he's still sitting there. Like, I mean,
He does not like this hook-nosed guy, and this has set the tone for how these people are, according to Wendy. So, like, yeah, her being like, he did not get up when we came in. Okay. Yeah,
yeah, he
I know better than that.
as you all get settled in, he turns over to the hook-nosed guy and just says, "Hey, Cassell, you can leave us. It's fine." He says, "All right."
The name? I heard cat sale. I'm assuming that's not what it is.
Cassales.
Okay.
Like CA sales.
Yeah, okay.
He's like, "All right, you need anything? I'll be outside, boss." And
Thank you, Mr. Casales. Showing us back here.
yep, anytime.
We'll see.
He just closes the door.
Now I know your name, asshole. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Mr. Smith that he put in his dry cleaning ticket was a lie.
Yeah.
Oh my, how dare.
What a liar. So he says, "I do want to get into why I asked you here, but of course, this is a very nice restaurant, and if you want to eat something, drink something beforehand, I would be rude of me to not afford you that opportunity, right? It's on the house. I own the place."
Cecil he has just like radiant smile, and he's just like, "Thank you so much. We've been meaning to stop by here," and he makes eye contact with every one of them, of the party, and he's like, "But we looked at the menu and we never made a solid choice. What would you recommend here?"
Don't try the squid, if you know what I mean.
He's like, honestly,
Wendy does not know what you mean. Like, I
not-
understand. Like, yeah,
ASL for general,
yeah, yeah.
Just
Cthulhu.
Power
Cthulhu.
madness.
Yeah, is that? Um, he goes. Uh, Anything with the chicken's pretty good. Right. So, he server comes back. He managed to order whatever you'd like. There's wine. This wine list, by the way, when did you look at it? Like outrageous amounts of money for a standard bottle. The rest of you,
She's not
Slurs.
drinking wine in front of this ass. Like, no, that's not a thing that's gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah.
the rest of you who know about wine, this is nice wine. It's probably a little overpriced. But once you get settled with your food, he just says, "All right, I'm not one to really beat around the bush and make anything's complicated, right? So I know that you all work for Caduceus. All right. Now, I feel it's my job as a
I work at a laundromat.
concerned citizen to tell you that Caduceus is not what you think it is. They've when you were on that ship a few nights ago, did you see what kind of cargo you had? Did they let you unload anything? Or did they take care of that elsewhere under cover of darkness?
What business is it of yours? We don't see quite how you're owed an explanation of our activities.
Oh, like I said, concerned citizen, right? I'll be frank. A lot of drugs in New York all of a sudden. A lot of things coming from interesting places. And
Just
it's not good. It's bad. It hurts the neighborhoods, hurts the people. It's bad for business. And
Bit
scratching
rich from there.
Hmm?
That's a bit rich coming from a rum runner.
My business doesn't hurt people. Now, you do what you want with this information, but if you figure out that, well, Caduceus might be a problem, if you have your mind's, your eyes opened up to it, so to speak, you'll see, right? They've got all the permits to not be inspected. They can just breeze through customs, just moving around whatever they like. So it's causing problems. And I want it to stop.
And so, if, as you're suggesting, if our eyes are opened up later on, and we realize the wrongs that Caduceus is doing right under our very eyes, under the eyes of the state, then what do we do? Do we come to you?
Yeah. I can help. Simple as that.
Well,
And of course, I would owe you a tremendous favor for something like that as well.
pray tell, what favors do you owe us?
If you were to help me out with something like that, it would be bad manners not to repay you. Like I said, I care a lot about my community. You help me stabilize it. You let me know what you need from me.
Are there any specifics, or do you have any proof? I mean, if it were very that concerning, I may be out of my own country. I would assume that we go to the police of the United States.
Yeah, come on, bub. You're trying to snow us here. What the hell? You haven't offered anything concrete except this very nice establishment and
Fine wine, a
maybe
little
wine,
overpriced.
but accusations, and we don't know you from Adam. What's the deal?
Well, break it down. Police, the customs, state government, right? It's all letting this happen. They're not going to do anything. They're the ones that Caduceus already has fooled. They're the ones that Caduceus pays money to basically turn the other way, turn their eyes the other way. Right? I've got some things brewing. You want proof? I can get you some proof. Got plenty of things that my guys have seen and plenty of things that I've seen with my own eyes. So, what I want to know is that you're thinking. All right? Maybe.
What sort of strange things have your guys seen, Mr. Giuseppe?
Be surprised if I told you. What I want out of this, call this a initial meet and greet, right? Take a couple weeks, go back to work, think about what's really going on in that building, what's really going on in those ports, right? Give it an extra look. And if you think I'm just some rum runner trying to snow you, all right. If you think there's something insidious going on there, well, I'll be here.
What
Suppose there's something insidious going on. What makes you think we're not on board?
Call it a gut feeling.
So, say that one more time.
Sorry, call it a gut feeling.
A gut feeling. Would that have something to do with the men that you have following us around? Or is that for our own protection? He kind of like smiles and takes us a little sip of wine.
Like I said, it's about practicality in business, right? I'll leave you be. I just want to make sure that you were someone I could actually talk to.
Cecil kind of like looks to everybody else, see if they have anything else.
No, Oliver's done talking to this idiot. He said nothing useful.
Looks at Murphy. Wendy.
Wendy ordered the most like Italian sounding thing on the menu, but just because, who knows. So she's like poked it around in this last 5 minutes of him grabbling on. But yeah, like he hasn't told us anything specific, or like the difference between thinking that the cargo that they're running is, I mean, like, what even does 1930s think of as like real drugs, like amphetamines or pep pills, like, I mean, come on. Like versus like tyrannish, you know what I mean, like knowing something about that, but none of the rest of the stuff he's indicated has been like, oh, the things that I've seen are like of the horror inducing variety. So yeah, like I don't appreciate the idea that somebody thinks that we're gonna be like in a favor system. Like, I know how that's go. And yeah.
Cecil has like kept his amulet, his all-seeing eye amulet, like out but he's kind of like kept it covered with his hand like a little bit. And he lets it flutter open under his hand, and then just kind of like gently like takes his hand away, and he's like, I understand that you might be very concerned about your community. It seems like you do have a good thing going here, and it seems like you do care about people, and you, for what it's worth, don't like the fact that Caduceus, if it is so, is skirting the law somehow. And you've been kind enough to make sure that we are shepherded to our places and not harassed. For that, we thank you. And for this dinner, we thank you. And I'm going to attempt to use my artifact
Yay!
to see what really drives him, what his so
Yay!
This will be
Good.
fun. I like this artifact. Alrighty. Roll power against another person. Alright, let me roll his power, so I'll tell you what you gotta beat.
Well, it's an okay success. It's a regular success. But I can't push this, is my understanding, to try and get a better one.
You cannot. Cool. Luckily, we're good. I'm just making sure one thing. Deeply trust a friend. Yep. Okay, cool. Describe what this looks like.
Yes. So, everybody else in the party has seen this eye before. It's always been closed, like a gold chain. There may be some adornment that is, yeah. It looks very, very pretty. You've never seen it open, however, so it looks, I imagine it looks almost kind of like one of the, like, the Sheikah eyes, like in, like a Legend of Zelda, kind of like, it's,
Very much so.
highly stylized. And while it may have, like, some similar colors to the periwinkle in Cecil's own eyes, they kind of, like, trace around just a little bit, kind of like if you're moving an opal, but it's standing still and they're kind of moving independently. And like, maybe it gets just a little bit darker in the room, and Cecil's voice just kind of like honey is just dripping, like, into the emptiness of the room, and kind of like taking up space rather than, like, the furniture in the room. And everything that he says is like, it's very reasonable. But like, it seems like it's kind of teasing at the edge of the thing you remember dreaming about, but can't quite grasp it.
Giuseppe finishes his wine. Gives you that same kind of flat-faced look. Just says, I'm glad you see things from my perspective, Cecil. Right? It's hard trying to enlighten people. And you can see he's kind of wrestling with something internal, right? Like he's trying to figure out what to do next, and he just goes, all right. I was going to give you some time to take a look around and see, but there's a warehouse in Red Hook. Caduceus is moving a lot of stuff out of there. They keep it very hush hush. Weird hours, a lot of people.
And where was that again? Sorry.
Red Hook.
Red Hook.
Mm-hmm.
Like the beer.
Now,
We have to go to New Jersey.
say the word, I'll send some people with you.
Thank you. No.
All right. Well, seems that our business here has concluded.
1 second. Just
Oh.
want to double check something.
Hmm.
So does it seem like the eye didn't work quite, or
Quite the opposite. It seems like he's giving you more
Hmm.
details than he initially planned to.
got it?
Mhm.
I think I'm supposed to get in like some insight into his dreams or what he actually wants.
So
I
for
might be incorrect.
it's
in
slightly
that.
off. So for him, he's gonna be treated like a. Actually, yeah, you can see that. That's high. It flips on you,
Deep.
but
Mhm.
as you look into Joseph's kind of mind or spirit, this is a person who has performed incredible acts of violence in the name of stability, right? At this point, instead of being a boiling like pot, he is simmered down and is just simply trying to maintain some level of structure and order. And there is a truth to what he says about caring about the community. It's layered in there with other complications, such as the benefits of being a mob boss, right? And where those become a motivation and where those become a weird dissonance blend. But he very much pictures a Manhattan where things are safe and functional.
Got it. So it seems a lot of the fire has kind of gone out of him, but he's more of the methods to keep things stable are worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Like Cecil's like eyes kind of like gleam maybe, and he just kind of like puts his hand like this and like kind of like bows, and if you look closely, he removes his hand and like the eye is closed, and he's like, "Thank you, uh, thank you so much for sharing that with us, and thank you for offering the protection. But you're right. We should probably see it for ourselves, and we should take some time to think about it before we go rushing in.
Yeah.
Most likely, you've learned that kind of thing, not to rush in, but to take your time and watch. And I'm sure that led you to the powerful position that you are now. We should probably take a note from that book.
Well, you extended trust coming here. I'm extending trust to you with that information.
But it makes sense. Fine wine. He says, as if you're like, oh, that's a glass of water.
Yeah.
And like, puts it down.
With that, like he's true to his word. He said, if you were, you have the information you need. So if it makes a difference, if it makes an impact, you know where to find me.
Thank you so much. And like starts to get up unless there's anything else, and like looks to everybody else.
Yeah. Everyone's just like, no, we're out, we're done.
I love the professor, and like, you know, Cecil tries to do that too,
Like,
very awkwardly.
Helicopters haven't been invented yet, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
but
Leonardo da Vinci would argue
Yeah.
that one with you.
But yeah, you're able to gather your stuff, head out. All in all, it takes about an hour, right? From like going in, sitting down, you know, having that food, talking for a little bit, and then leaving. What I'm curious about is you're driving back, right? One of the things that you're gonna as you're driving back, Quentin is in the vehicle with you, right? You picked up, and he just says, "All right, so how did it go? I mean, it was pretty short. Didn't seem to be any issues, right? What do you want?"
And you will be shocked to learn that Caduceus is a shadowy organization moving strange things through many logistical hubs in the New York City area.
I myself was aghast.
All right.
He gives me the impression of being a small-time smuggler, worried that Caduceus is taking up too much space on docks he'd rather have quiet. He had nothing substantive to say whatsoever.
I can tell you this. Oh, go ahead.
Sounds kind of wild that he'd make a bunch of accusations and no proof. All right.
I do not know if he'd have he may have resources. I'm not sure if he'd be able to produce that kind of proof. And we honestly
They'd
said
seen things, but you know, okay.
we've seen things.
And like bold of you to decide that you know this is going to be your plea for us to be double agents.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty.
If you came to us in good faith, also, like, why'd you visit the laundry? Like,
Why do you station people outside of Ma Murphy's?
Yeah.
Likely he had all of us followed, most likely, but
Well, we'll make a point to keep some people around because Giuseppe's been less active recently, but he did have a very violent patch, so we'll keep an eye on that. But
I do have this to say. I think a lot of that fire has died. I have seen his soul. And although the methods to his madness, I would not, I simply do not agree with. I think in his age, I think it has diminished. The ember is fading. I think he does care about New York. I think he wants it to be orderly, but on his terms. That said, is there anything that you're keeping from us that we should know about that would keep us and ours out of danger?
no, to be quite honest with you, like I'll try to share as much information as possible. Right? So, yeah, there are things that I don't know. There are things that, you know, we're still trying to work and figure out, but like, no, nothing that would keep it from you in like a deliberate or kind of hostile manner, right? You can all roll psychology on that if you like.
Yeah.
So,
Being prudent. Seems legit to me. We've been entrusted with many secrets and given reasonable explanations and help when asked. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's on the up and up.
I didn't get an extreme success, but I got the next best thing.
Okay.
Hard, is it?
Great success.
Great success.
But
Great success.
Great success.
a hard success phrasing. Anybody else? No,
My
nothing.
psychology is
And,
terrible, but
and
yes.
Kelly use fighting. to figure this out.
I was about to say, if I can roll fighting, sure, but no, my psychology is 10.
Start choking out Quentin, like, what are you lying to us about?
Tell me what you know.
What is
I
red
feel like
hawk?
there should be a size up instead of psychology, but that's just me. So
That's probably why I was trying to use the fighting brawl for at one point, but it's hit or miss depending on the circumstance. It's not raw, but it's right, but it's also really powerful. So it's like,
So if Murphy meets the queen and we think that she's lying.
Yeah.
Whoops. Don't let that happen.
right? But no, so you go and talking to Quentin. Here's the vibe you get from him, Cecil, right? He does seem genuine, right? Everything you've seen him do reflects the actions of someone who like believes in what he says and believes in this organization. Everything from like him going to Arturo's place to deliver bad news, because like anybody from Caduceus could have done that. He went, right? Just his general disposition on things, the way he tries to give as much information as possible, and more importantly, will tell you at times, I don't know when you've asked, and has actually managed to come back with information later to try to fill those gaps. He seems like he is genuinely trying to help. It means what he says. Now, does that account for all of Caduceus? No. But Quentin, you feel, has a pretty good track record of being straightforward and helpful.
Right. Cecil nods and he's like, well, I know it's late, laddies and lass. Would you like to have some tea at my place?
Actually, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you all to take a quick detour to Caduceus. There's some other information I got recently. I just wanted to make sure. So before I move on, was there anything else that Giuseppe wanted? Like he just wanted to make some accusations and then just had you leave?
No. I mean, are you running drugs? Are you running in on his trade? Because I don't think he'd be happy about that.
I mean, we're running medication, to war zones.
Cecil smiles and he's like, I know that. He may simply be. This might be the last kind of like glow of his ember as he tries to control things before he fades away from the world.
All right. You don't think anyone's in danger, do you? Not gonna like try to mess with anybody, hurt any of our people.
Might bug us again in a few weeks since he asked for if we would consider, but for now,
Let's let him percolate for a couple weeks and see if his organization does anything else. But right now, I think it's just a case of him grasping at shadows.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as well.
I don't think he's clued in. I mean, we are dealing with dark forces beyond our kin. That might ruin him.
the cargo that you're worried about coming up from South America was the drugs, and you definitely missed something on the way.
No kidding.
But didn't get the sense that he knew of anybody else on the manifest.
Understood. Make the rest of the drive back. You get back to Caduceus headquarters, back up to the 17th floor to the conference room, right? And he pours out some drinks. Shekels is in there with a large like travel trunk that's sitting on the table, right? And he kind of waves to all of you, like, "Hey, what's going on?" Quentin pours out the drinks, takes a seat, and says, "I understand that you've already done a lot. I want to talk to you about what's happening next, right? Because we talked about what the internet's going to do and where they're going to do it. And when you asked me the question, I didn't know. It's kind of hard to look forward that way. But we think we're on to something now. We got a request for humanitarian assistance from the Northern Borneo Charter Company, right? It's a mining company out on the island. They're dealing with a localized, it looks like a pandemic of some type, right? Comes off pretty bad. The initial symptoms point to some type of infectious hepatitis. But it's a little bizarre. We've been looking at things happening kind of globally. There's different requests that come in. This one's weird because it's been paired with a lot of strange seismic activity in the mountain range nearby, which is very unusual for that area. Anything that could have been considered volcanic was dormant thousands of years ago. So, we're starting to scrutinize this, and I think that might be something more. Talked to Tyrannish about it, and she said there was a source of old power there, but wasn't able to describe it, more able to sense it.
Source of all power?
Old power.
Old.
Ooh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But tried to pin it down, and said she wasn't quite sure, but it was something that basically balled up waiting to be released. Just kind enough to do a little bit of kind of gestures towards Cecil. Projective meditation, right?
So you want us to go install a grounding wire?
Yeah, basically. I'm gonna go check it out. Right. Look, at the end of the day, at the accelerated rate that people seem to be getting sick, that alone is a problem. And I think we can more than easily take care of that on the island. He kind of gestures over to Shekels, and he opens up this trunk and pulls out a large steel box with a bunch of lights and buttons on it that just makes a weird, like, kind of whirring noise as he, like, removes it. It seems to have, like, a feed tray on one side where you can, like, insert things the size of, like, small books. And in the center is a spout where basically it looks like some type of liquid can come out, like a soda dispenser almost, right? Into test tubes.
Oh, okay. I was like a fancy espresso machine.
Yeah. It's like a fancy, crazy espresso machine. It's the espresso machine from Seussical the musical.
Cyril looks at it with disdain and mistrust, and he's just like, and this is supposed to. Is this part of this, or are we having more drinks?
I like you, Cecil. And Shekels, like, kind of runs his hands through his hair and is like, no, look, this is basically okay. So you're probably not gonna like this. I don't know exactly how this thing works, But I know that it does work every time, all the time. It's consistent, and we like that. It's basically we've titled it a viral analyzer, right? So if people are getting sick from different things, you can actually take whatever baseline sickness we have, if you have enough sample base, and create effectively medication or cure for it. It works in smaller doses, but like it's possible to do something like prevent this this issue, this pandemic on this island from spreading. They basically have a quarantine zone right now. If you keep people there, we can fix that, and that way, that's a problem solved, right? And that'll help out the people there a lot. We just need samples.
Yeah, like Wendy's gonna like kind of tilt her head at like because you described the feeder size as like small books was the size of these slots.
Yeah,
and he's asked of virus or to like.
Oh yeah, no, you got it. Like
what?
It's
what sample? Like in her head, she's like, "Do I feed it a sandwich? Do I feed it a finger? Like what?
Little gruesome.
Goes in something this size?
Little gruesome, but you got to feed it tissue samples. And unfortunately, it can synthesize cure at the rate of the size of sample, right? So, little gruesome, but if you have someone who is unfortunately recently deceased, they can actually like their tissue samples could be used for an entire village. Now, if that's the case, and you have plenty of people who are still alive. That's even.
Argo
I love this device. I love this device so much.
So you put your hand in here, and the coffee comes out the top.
Precisely. So it is one of my favorite items in this book. It is so just bizarre.
Cecil leans in.
Rate of feeding it body, like, which doesn't that kind of fuck up the idea that we're there to help?
Yeah. Cecil leans in, and like maybe the lights go dark, and he's like, "So the cure is the bodies that we feed it."
If you can get tissue samples, bad science for sure. If you can get tissue samples from like a bunch of people, that's fine. That's actually better, honestly. You can get like scrapings, and they'll be good. You don't have to have. We want everyone to live through this. I'm saying if it happens to the point where like they're too far gone, it's an option, right? And you have the volume at that point. But also, like, again, just asking people to donate some skin is just fine. Probably medically faster, or probably medically more sound. And Quentin is just, like, staring at Shekels during this entire presentation. Like... All right.
So will we be escorting a medical team who's going to be doing this?
He looks back at you and says, I'm going to go with you. So, that's... So I have no issues working with the viral analyzer. It's something that I've spent a little time getting familiar with, right? Shekels has a bit of a aggressive explanation, but the bottom line is yes, we can take a bad situation and turn it into a good one and stop any type of virus in that area.
Borneo. So it's not like people who are already dead with this are keeping terribly long, for analysis.
Rather warm and humid is what you're saying.
Yes, but
Right. Now, as it stands right now, we got this request a couple hours ago, so we're already packing and ready to move.
We're leaving already?
By morning, if possible.
Trouble
is
dismayed face. Yeah.
Trouble is, this thing's moving fast, right? If we get in there and get control of it, be good. And of course,
how are we going to protect ourselves? And
Shekels is like, I got you.
yeah, but you also told me I need to feed like skin scraping sandwiches to a machine. So.
I didn't make the machine. I found the machine. It works. Like I said, I don't know how it works or why it works the way it does. I'm just saying, like, that's what we got. Like,
like.
Look, the other option is we could not have the viral analyzer and everything's terrible. Like, I'm just. And again, Quentin's just staring at Shekels.
That was half from player and half from Wendy. Sorry.
Kelly, how's your Dutch?
My what?
Right, the Dutch East Indies. How's your Dutch? I don't have any.
I don't have any either.
Shekels.
Shekels says, "Oh no! I'm not allowed to leave the building. That's the direct order from Mr. Madam. There isn't. Quentin's gotta go." And
Quentin, I suppose that you speak Dutch.
there's actually a small British military base out there that we're going to be working with. They're tracking our arrivals, so we shouldn't have too many issues with language barrier. Be good to go. People know that we're out there, and there's a point of contact at the Borneo company we're going to be able to talk to as well. Right, working out there, but wanted to bring this up as soon as possible. Give you some time to prepare. All right. That's a lot to throw down, but time is critical. Right, between keeping an epidemic in check and, of course, following up on whatever bizarre activity is happening within those mountains. We're going to have to get control of it quick.
Understood.
Time-wise, we met the guy at 10.
Mm-hmm.
It took about an hour.
It's about midnight right now.
So it's, midnight time, and they're going to be ready for us to leave in the morning.
Mm-hmm. So. Now, listen, it's a long trip, so there's plenty of time to sleep on the boat and on the planes. So if you need, take care of what you got to take care of, and we'll make sure you get there in one piece. We got an expert pilot that's going to be helping us out when we actually get to the Borneo area.
What
Is that Saoirse's date?
Yeah, Saoirse's date ended early, unfortunately. We got one of the gentlemen from the Vanguard Club, Spencer Brooks. I believe Mr. Murphy knows him.
Can't wait. Getting the band back together.
Yeah. So.
Saoirse's going to be pissed.
But Shekels is like pulling out these like crazy suits with gas mask attachments, and it's just like, yeah. So look, I've got these suits, right? They're good. They're gonna be real uncomfortable. It's kind of just don't do a lot of cardio in them, okay? You wear the suits and you are good to go.
Smells like burnt rubber.
Yeah, you get used to it. It's fine. The point is though, like it's airtight. Just don't rip it or anything, and you'll be good. And if you do rip it, like you got the viral analyzer, you can always like synthesize yourself a cure as well. So, you got options. It's gonna be great.
So it's not like the cure comes out of the machine and then we make the cure from other stuff. You have to continually feed this thing for it to continually make. Like, what's the person finger to pill ratio that we're getting out of this?
So I ran the math. Like I said, it's a little messy, but he holds up like a notepad and he's like, literally one person, approximately 180, 200 pounds, should cover the entire population of the island, to include contractors and military personnel. So
you need one person for one
No, God, oh no. The ratio is it's tiny amounts can get you a lot of. This thing has a lot of mileage, but again, like ideally you just get some samples from people and then you feed that in and kind of solves all your problems. But if you get there when it's late,
Well, I need to speak to Saoirse. I was hoping to speak to Tyrannus before I could leave, but Wendy, it might be I don't know, Quentin, how's your doctoral kind of like handwriting?
that's pretty good. What do you need?
Well, Wendy might need a permission slip of sorts or an
I
offer.
did. Yeah, I told my family I'd be starting an internship, so with hospital related activities, especially because it's such short notice. How long are we going to be gone?
It should be quick. We can always. I've already talked to Dr. Goncalves about this, right? He can go out and actually make sure your family's tracking this whole situation. Should be quick though. In and out, 20-minute episode.
3-hour tour.
3-hour tour. We'll make sure all that's taken care of on this end.
Yeah. Still not really an answer, but okay.
Well, I need to go home and pack.
I need to, prep my family. And like Wendy has probably never been to like Brunei, Malaysia, whatever bit, but like because also who owns Borneo at this point? Anyone have that off of the top of their head? The
British and the Dutch.
That's British at this
No.
point, yeah.
Okay.
The north part is British, the south part is part of the Dutch East Indies, and then there's Sumatrans and Javanese and all sorts of local people doing stuff there, separate from the colonial infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like when you all are packing for Borneo, like be aware that you're not going to be wearing your tweed suit. So
I'll try to bring less than I did last time. Didn't get to wear any of it anyway.
So much stuff. So,
Boxes.
Quentin basically goes over the details, gives you as much information as possible, and then says we can delay a little bit if you need we can delay a little bit if you need a little more time to make sure everything's good with your family, but like we gotta by like noon tomorrow we gotta be wheels up.
Yeah, like she'll ask for like if either one of Kelly's gym people is, can be bribed into taking a look around or like just, hanging out in the laundry, pointlessly folding the same socks over and over again for a while.
Well, yeah, short Jimmy's gonna be great for that.
Mm-hmm. We'll feed him well, and but yeah, So like if they're gonna let us go, Wendy is not gonna sleep. She's gonna spend like the rest of the time between now and when they have to meet, like making sure that they have everything in their little apartment that her dad's gonna need, and some explanation to her family about like why she needs to be like on call in the hospital for like and like fake the interpretation of the note and the terrible handwriting of what that means.
If you want to take Goncalves with you, he's their like staff, the actual Caduceus like staff doctor who you all met at that party.
Mm-hmm. You met him.
He's more than happy to go and pitch that on your behalf, or like with you, so you have
Not in the middle of the night. Like that's not gonna go. That's a lead balloon.
No, but saying like
maybe in the morning.
if you fly by noon tomorrow, yeah, he'll go with you.
Yeah, so it's like we are not bringing a strange man in the middle of the night to be like, Auntie, I need to work at the hospital. I promise. Yeah.
So, but
there's this machine that's gonna take Wonder Bread in people's skin and turn it into.
it is not the craziest thing in this book, which is so wild to me.
Not, and just the image that my brain conjured for this is like,
It's Dr. Seussian. It's very strange.
It's so like there's so many things where I'm like, oh, that's whimsical and fun, but also terrible. Yeah, I'm. Oh, there's a couple other good ones in the future. We'll get to them. They'll be fun. Yeah, fun. It's Cthulhu. What do you want?
Fun.
It's fun. We're having fun. Getting the wood chipper. It's
We're
fun.
having fun.
Great time. Let's go.
Kids just killing themselves all over our property, just like the Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is also yes.
Oh my
Yep.
god, what a fun movie. Anyway, Alan Tudyk's amazing. So you're given the rest of the night and day to kind of prep, right? Is there anything, I know Wendy has to take care of some stuff with her family, right? I want to walk the line of robbing, I want to walk the line from not robbing you of your opportunity to do stuff, but also saying like, hey, if you are just making sure your dad is set and making sure that you have a believable reason to leave, like, we don't need to do like a million rolls for it. Like, you have the resources and capacity to do it, right? Because it's a pulp adventure, and honestly, like, ducking your family is funny, but it's not ever going to stop you from going on an adventure, right? But if it's something serious you want to make sure is like taken care of specifically before you leave, then we should absolutely do that, right?
I would just say, if it's possible, it need only be a montage scene, or there doesn't have to be dialogue exactly, but explaining to Saoirse what's going on, explaining that I'm going to be meeting her boyfriend, and being like, "Are you a part of this yet? Or are you coming along?" And basically doing that, and then possibly if they allow him to, like, meditate with Tyrannus, but that's all I would want. I wouldn't want to play out the scenes.
Yeah, that's too easy. There's absolutely a couple scenes where like you go back, you see that Saoirse's already back from the date at home and looks kind of annoyed. There's that conversation where you realize that the Spencer like didn't blow her off, and like, okay, like things are okay. She understands that there's something happening now. And is more sympathetic to both his situation and yours, and I think she helps you pack in a very like, how can I help you? This is the best thing I can do at the moment to just
less is more, apparently. That is what I'm told.
So
also, you should really talk to Caduceus.
So they did offer me a job.
Oh, they offered you?
I know.
Oh, well, great.
Yeah,
so, in the beginning of that conversation.
I could tell you more about it when you get back, but yeah, there's some talk, and I'm trying to. I'll let you know how it goes.
Thank you so much. Good to have you on the team, sis.
That was Spencer's idea.
Oh, was it?
So, but yeah, she's like, yeah, well, I'll tell you more about that when it's your thing right now. Helps you pack and get ready. You're able to go back to the Caduceus building a few hours before you leave, and Tyrannus is there. She's on a different floor than the ones you usually hang out on, right? Hers is a little more secured, but when you go up there, Frank, make sure you have access. She's in a very comfortable looking, almost there's a lot of golds, a lot of purple hues as you walk into this room of like furniture that doesn't quite make sense, and like things that probably have practical applications for snake feet people who are 8 feet tall, but like don't quite track for your brain. But oh, that's a shelf, that's a chair, that's a bed, like okay, but not quite. As you get here, lay of the land, and This
is the rough rock that we rub ourselves on when we're shedding. Yeah.
Precisely. And she has just settled down in the center of this room, and is looking through those scrolls that Oliver returned to her, right? And she's kind of been reading through those. And, oh man, I hate that comment.
Missed it.
Thank you, Will. Well, through me. Through a loop. This is why I never read the comments. And, alright, I'm composed. You approach, and she's sitting there, and there's a little bit of like, you can feel the energy kind of radiating off of her. And she just says, please. Oh, I saw it. I just had no comment. And she just gestures for you to sit down with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this conversation is all mental, right? And I think there's just a bunch of pictures and emotions that go with this. As she kind of asks you, like, what are you here looking for?
And he basically responds like something's been unlocked in me, and I need to continue to open the door, or I'll be stuck in between. But I don't want to throw open the door. I want to do it safely.
I see.
My previous teacher threw the door open.
Very well. Please, how attached to this she seems to be choosing her words very carefully, and she says, how grounded are you in this world?
I feel afloat sometimes. Sometimes I get up at night and I don't mean to. And I go places I don't mean to. Beyond my control.
Do you feel as if you're seeking another place or another time, perhaps?
Oh, aye.
And you are right, that door is wide open. I'd like to show you how to slow that flow of energy.
He simply nods and then says yes, not understanding if she knows what nodding is. So.
There was a place once. My home, right? A beautiful, shining citadel of technology and magic. And we'd lost our place there. There was a danger that caused us to have to, what we thought would be temporarily, leave. The issue we ran into was the journey back. Every single brave warrior or priest or priestess, however you would describe them, would throw the door open in an attempt to return home. And every single time, the results destroyed them and caused more damage to the situation. If the door is wide open in your mind, you will have access to incredible power at a terrible price. Something that needs to be channeled and focused. It took me almost a millennia, if not more.
His eyes just go. Andy says, "Right, you are. Well, I don't have that time. And you're right. Throwing the door wide open is no good. Whatever potential you see, I'm happy to simply follow the rope there. Step by step.
The very first step is finding your anchor. Right? Tether yourself here. Tether yourself to something, to someone, to somewhere. But make it ironclad and make it consistent. If you don't have that, then any opening to power can cause you to drown.
I will find that. Thank you.
And then she sits with you, and you kind of like explore these concepts she's talking about, where you can see, yeah, basically you can go full ham and it will just melt your brain, or you can actually really put that focus and effort in and channel those power very carefully, right? And but what grounds you is up to Cecil.
Got it. Cool.
So. And
Fade.
And fade out.
Don't want to take up too much time.
Nah, very, very cool. Oliver, any last minute stuff that you need to take care of?
Well, I think I'd better let the kids know I've got to nip out again for a few days, but it shouldn't be too long. Not going to be weeks. Traveling by plane this time, it seems, not some ship. So, yes,
Okay.
we'll do that, and I might leave a note on my desk for the dean or something. I know he wanted to talk about some paperwork, but that can't possibly be important.
Your grad students could probably fill it out for you and sign your name.
Sure, I'm sure. I do need to drop off the summary of my notes for them so they can continue the research back at NYU. Yes, I have so much to write up. Where did I leave that pen? Oh dear. Anyway, no, I think I can handle it all in the hours of the morning and make it to the airport, by noonish or so.
Just
should be fine.
Burning through lines of notes, trying to get everything situated. Before you leave, Bradley does come into the study at one point and just, he's aware that you're going to head out again and just says, Um, we think that it's just kind of hard to. He seems really nervous about asking this question, right? He says, "I are you doing okay?" She's been doing a lot recently. Just want to make sure. I know you. It's you, but like, are you?
Think so.
Good.
Am
Okay.
I mean, do I seem off?
Like, it's not that. It's you came back from South America. You said there was a lot of things that you saw. You showed us the bracelet, but like that was after you. I guess you've barely been home. You haven't slept, as far as I can tell, or maybe slept at the college a bit. It's just there's a lot very quickly that's happening, and like I just.
The pace at which Caduceus has been operating is not going to be sustainable for the long term. But for a month or two, I think it won't kill me.
Okay.
You're right. It has been quite quite hectic, and I'm looking forward after this trip to Borneo should only take a couple days. Um, Looking forward to coming back here, working on my notes, writing it up with you, telling you a bit more about the experience, and then hopefully being a tad more involved. I realize I'm putting a lot on you and your sister right now, but
No, it's
since school's out and you all are sort of squiring around and going on, I assume, dates with other teenagers, then figured you'd want free time, but
no.
absentee parenting is probably not the right way to go about it. You're smart kids, you'll be fine.
We don't mind taking on a bit of extra stuff, like whatever helps, just whatever helps keep things settled as you're going back and forth, right? So
Sure.
we're good here. Don't worry about us.
I don't remember. Did I give you money last time? And he'll pull like just an enormous thick roll of bills out of his jacket and kind of throw it on the desk. Be like, Caduceus is paying for everything, so it seems like we don't have to worry about that much.
Okay. No, thank you.
Or order some pizzas or something.
We'll do, and we'll keep the party into a minimum, right?
Yes, I suppose.
Okay.
Anyway, no, you've been patient with me, and I apologize for having to sort of rush off again. Um, I won't sign up for another thing right away after this, but it's urgent enough that I feel it merits my personal attention.
All right. Yeah. Sounds good. Have safe travels.
Thank you.
And
Is your sister around? I should probably say goodbye before I go.
she's asleep.
10 o'clock in the morning.
She stayed up real late, getting into one of those journals. She's been on a very studious kick recently, trying to figure out what's up with that bracelet.
All right. Well, don't delve too deeply. Well, it'll be all right. Be careful.
Oh well, I'll let her know you said.
It's
bye.
hard to unlearn.
Cool.
Yes. And he's gonna like sort of put his jacket on and like awkwardly go shake his hand and
yeah, of course. Oliver.
Brad?
Sir. Good luck. and then proceeds to roll
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, yeah. So you get packed. You take care of like writing out the rest of your notes, and you're prepped and ready to go, right? Kelly. What do you got?
I mean, I gotta go back and say bye to Ma. I gotta go talk to the gym guys too. That can be a real quick pop in, pop out. Tell short Jimmy, hey, show up here. They're gonna be folding socks. I don't know. They're gonna feed you.
I like food, so yeah.
That's what I love about you, short Jimmy.
You know, there's no other Jimmy here. You can just call me Jimmy. Just gotta...
I love you, short Jimmy. I'm gonna give him a little noogie.
All right. Yeah, get off of me. Yeah. I'll go fold some socks for some lunch or something. I'm good with that.
I appreciate
Kind
it.
of
Listen,
hoping
I
that
owe you
short
one.
Jimmy would be like Little John, where like he's actually the tallest person at the gym.
I'm 5'9". It's not my fault.
Yeah,
The rest
he's
of you are
not
all like,
very short.
well, the rest of you are all like 6'3", so I don't know what the. I got it covered. Don't worry, Kelly.
Appreciate it, man.
So.
While I'm there, I'll drop off the other tapestry for the gym. I assume it's fine. We had like out of character discussion about these tapestries. They're probably fine. I'll drop that off and just let Coach know. I got more going on, but I'm getting lots of work and workouts, keeping up my regimen, I think.
You're keeping up, yeah. You gotta keep up that cardio, right? So just like, you know, I don't. Honestly, you also look like you got a little more swole since you left. So, yeah.
It's probably a little bit of dehydration and lack of water weight, but thank you. I'm trying to bulk up some more.
All right, yeah. Keep it going, like 100%. Hey, just out of curiosity, like, what am I looking at in this tapestry here? Like, I know the colors really bring the room together, but like
I don't want to spoil the ending for you. You gotta see what you see in it. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
It's art.
You've been spending too much time up in down in Manhattan now. You know, it's art's okay. I get you. So
I'm busting your balls, buddy. I don't know. They look like. What does it look like to you? I honestly don't know what the tapestry looks like.
it looks like a bunch of snakes shooting lasers or something.
That sounds pretty cool. Let's go with that.
All right, yeah. I mean, I've been thinking about changing our motto to some sort of Cobra thing, so like that's probably cool. I've been told people really get into like animal based stuff when it comes to your kickboxing karate regiments. So think about
You're onto
rebranding.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So
that's a pretty good idea.
like
Hey, listen.
like Cobra Fist or something. I think that'd be cool.
Keep workshopping it. You'll get there.
Yeah,
Hey,
100%.
My ma told me that people have been dropping around the house some shady figures. I think we got it sorted out, but would you do me a favor and just send some of the guys the longer route on their way home? Just stop by, make sure everything's okay, make sure the lights are on, whatnot.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, no, we'll make sure that no one. One, that is about 3 miles to the cardio circuit, and that's good. Two, no one's gonna mess with your family.
Good. I appreciate that.
So.
Makes me nervous when I'm not around, but I know you guys got my back, so.
No, we got you, Murph. Whatever you need.
All right, I'll hug him and slap him on the back real hard.
Sorry.
I forgot how to drink water. And
That's the danger of cutting. You gotta stay hydrated. You know, always just you keep drinking. You keep drinking the water. Don't stop.
thank you.
Mm-hmm. So.
All right, I'll be back.
All right, travel safe. Right.
I'll head home.
Cool. Get all packed up. Same thing. Like, it's kind of a revolving door. It's been a couple of days that you've been back, and immediately you're just right back out the door. That's what a revolving door means. La la la. Words are hard, man. Like,
Got it. Just making sure everyone's on the same level.
I'm just trying to like hallucinate this story and articulate it at the same time. It's terrible.
Correct.
So,
You're
but
doing great.
I appreciate it. I do love validation. So, Yeah, Carrie, Alex, and Ma, they all meet you. You know, I think again you have like a nice big family meal. Yeah, your ma a little concerned obviously about the back and forth, but again, you know, she's not really gonna use that to guilt you or anything like that. She just, you know, she loves you and she wants you to know it. Um, uh, she just does ask like, oh, so how long you plan to be gone this time? Just so I have an idea of what I'm looking at.
Do I know?
A couple
He said
days,
quick.
maybe.
You know, maybe a week. This one's a little bit trickier. You know, we've got a couple stops that we're making. Some might take longer, some might be shorter. So, couple days, but you know, maybe a week. If I'm not back in 2 weeks, then that's probably when you should call someone.
Okay, no, that's good to know. Just 2 weeks is good. 3 might be a little problem. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's Carrie's birthday coming up, right? So just some to
You're right. All right.
just keep in the back of your head, right?
Yeah, I'll see if I can't send a postcard, give a call, something like that.
I figured
I'll-
2-3 weeks you'll probably be back by then. But
All right.
yeah,
I'll bring her back something nice.
I think she'd like that. So, but all right. She gives you a hug and then hands you a little bag. Says like, so I packed the lunch. You know, nothing too crazy. Just a couple
Aw.
some sandwiches for you and your friend that came by the other day. Food was
Wendy.
Oh, she's so
Yeah.
nice. The food was so good too.
Oh,
So,
good. I'm glad.
yeah, tell her she
I'll
can
let
come,
her know.
tell her she can come by anytime. But see, I packed some sandwiches, so like
All right.
yeah. All right. I love you, kid.
I
Get out
love
of
you,
here.
Ma.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, kids.
Don't go. We love you so much.
Hug them like a little too hard.
Yeah.
I'll start.
One of the two taps out. Alex taps out.
Yeah, good.
So just jokingly, but yeah.
Yes. All right.
So-
I head back.
Head out. Wendy, last but not least,
Yeah.
right? Head back in the morning. Like I said, Dr. Goncalves will meet you. And he's just like sitting there talking to you before we get in the restaurant.
It's like I will have prepped both my one auntie and my father for the the doctor will be coming to explain why they need me to go with them for this particular job. Like
Here's a question: do you talk to him about your dad's current condition?
So Goncalves probably not
Okay.
him specifically. Like I would definitely going to be talking to like someone at Caduceus to like recommend like who do I talk to about getting my dad like checked out. But we're definitely going to go to like the doctor that the families go to in around here first.
Okay.
And things like can we change up like what he drinks in his tea, and like is he getting enough iron or whatever, like that kind of crap first.
Yeah.
And then bring in the strange doctor with whom he will not be able to communicate on his own. So like, and like we've met Goncalves, but he's not like one of the people we've spent a lot of time with. So like if after this he's a little bit more familiar, she'll ask that one. But if not, she's gonna ask like the receptionist that we know in the front of Caduceus, or like Quentin maybe, or but not him.
Cool.
'Cause, yeah.
Yeah, he sits down with you ahead of time. Yeah, describing him again. He's got like that, the shocking white hair, kind of like tan. Wears like a nice jacket. A little bit of like a well kept mustache, and just says, Okay, so you're going to, just so I'm on the same page, you're going to tell your parents that you are in a medical program, which is true actually. You are part of a Caduceus medical outreach, and
Going to feed skin to a coffee machine. Yes. Um. The, yeah. Yes. I told them that I would be starting an internship with Caduceus, to make it seem a little bit better that I was missing so much of my formal education at this point in time. So that it's really exciting that I'm going to be assisting with all of the and nothing too hands-on. Like tell them that I'm taking notes in charts and I'm, going to be, I don't know, pressing people's aprons or whatever to that would be good, please.
oh,
Thank you.
of course.
Doctor.
You can call me Victor.
Dr. Victor. Thank you.
So he smiles and laughs. Actually, haha. Whoop.
Yeah.
That's him. So, but he kind of gestures like lead the way. Says, make sure that everything is taken care of, right? And yeah, he'll lay the groundwork for what you put out to your aunt and your father, right? Or kind of says like, hey, this is the deal. This is what's happening. This is why this is happening immediately because, well, this slot just opened up and this is a great opportunity. But when he doesn't fill it, it's going to go to somebody else, and this is something that has to happen like now. It's such a prestigious opportunity, et cetera, right? And it's very good at kind of talking this through. And that doesn't seem to be too much of an issue, right?
Yeah, no, they've clocked onto the words like opportunity and like medical and, if we used school anywhere in there. And, this is a good plan. Yes. How nice it is that you have personally come down here to make this appeal. Please have more tea. Yes.
At the end of all of that, your aunt does pull you off to the side, and she says, I wanted to follow up with you about some of the medical plan for your dad, right? Where there's a few people that we're going to contact, and we have things set up now, right? The point is, I wanted you to know that everything's going to be taken care of while you're gone. Like the extra food and stuff you made for him already is helping immensely, and he's gonna be fine. Okay, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'll tell her about like short Jimmy is gonna be around, and like he is, and I mean like very very clear. Like this is not a young man that I know well. He has been recommended by someone else, and he will help in the laundry, but don't expect that he will do laundry very well. But if you are nice to him and feed him, he will be fine. Like a puppy, only muscly and like maybe looks a little bit less like someone that they think they can take advantage of. Yeah, let him do. Like I have no idea if Short Jimmy's just like sweet talker in any way or like charismatic, but like let him do talking if people come around that think like look like they're gonna give you trouble, and yeah.
100%. She's like, good. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Just because and like not telling her that like I suspect specifically any other than like, that hook-nosed guy was creepy and I didn't like that, but not that there's any reason to be disturbed or anything, but like plus like, maybe like Jimmy's parents worry about him and they'd like for him to get a good, get a good honest job. Yeah.
It's always
like
nice to have more hands around to help out as well. As you get ready to leave, Dr. Goncalves kind of like sees himself out and says, I will meet you outside. You're done. Your dad comes up to you and gives you a hug, right? And says, I want you to know that I'm very proud of you. And I hope that you and your mother have fun on the school trip.
Yeah, she's gonna like hug him so that he can't see that she's like immediately started crying. Like, it'll be fine. Like it's a short trip. I'll do good work. I promise. I'm learning a lot. And like kind of like pass him back to her aunt so she can like turn real quick and he can't see that she's upset. Yeah.
And she takes him over to the table and just pours out some more tea and goes back to talking with him, right? As you head out. Very last scene, I think, and then we'll call it because it's almost 5. All of you meet up at the airfield. Right.
It's not 5 here. It's 5.
Oh.
Yeah. It's 2. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Remember, you have to ground yourself to some type of time or place or something. Otherwise, you will go crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Find your anchor. Also, what is time?
What is time? So, the crazier you get, the better your magic is. So, you all meet at the airfield. Time Anarchy. And therein, of course, all of his stylish glory is Spencer Brooks and his sweet leather bomber jacket, giant aviators, just like awesome hair, just being blown back by the sheer like wind of the airfield. And there's Quentin. You can see that as you come walking up, Quentin and Goncalves are talking to one another just off to the side by the hangar. And if anybody would like to, you can roll a spot hidden. Spencer's doing like final checks. You can hear like the propellers going. He like sees all of you and just shouts something inaudible over the engine noise.
Regular success.
Okay.
A great success.
Nice.
Just one above what I actually needed to do anything.
Same.
Cool. Kelly and Wendy both noticed that like they're in an argument. It's hard to hear over like the ambient noise of the airfield, but like you haven't seen Quentin like mad before, right? But his face is like matching his bow tie, and he's like yelling something at Goncalves. And Goncalves kind of like just rolls his eyes at him and like throws up his hands in an exasperated manner. And turns and walks off, and Quentin just takes a second, takes a breath, straightens his bow tie, and then he walks over to the rest of you and goes, all right, everyone ready to go?
Hi. Ready as it will ever be.
Sure. Is there a problem? That seemed a little heated over there.
Goncalves is a good man. Victor's a good man, but he and I just differ on outlooks sometimes. It's fine. It's a personality thing. So, with that, you hear Spencer say, "All right, well, this thing's all fueled up, and I'm ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Kelly, what's up?
Let's go, my man.
You riding shotgun?
You know it.
All right, let's get the show on the road."
Already?
And you all pile in. The plane takes off, heading towards New
Little red
Borneo.
line appears on the map.
Yep, quick travel options. And there you have it. Like, I don't know who's flown before, but woof, away you go. And we'll resolve that next time on Two-Headed Serpent. So, yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
We did it!
We did it. The end.
We saved the city!
For now.
So, thank you all for watching. This is all for Extra Life, right? We're doing the, all the shameless plugs at the end, to include one thing that Joe has. But, like, subscribe, donate, do all that cool stuff. It's all for charity. You can donate here. You can donate to the Extra Life page directly. If you're enjoying that kind of stuff, just, it's for a good cause. We're all just being nerds and having fun, right? Joe, what do you got?
I got an actual live show coming up, which is super, super duper exciting. If you like improv, as I know I do, and musicals, like I know I do, what if you smushed both of them together? You'd get an improvised musical. And that's what Thank You Places does. You can follow us at Thank You Places on Facebook or at Places Thank You, because Instagram had to be difficult. We're going to be performing, I think it is next. I'm going to get the actual date up here. So don't give it. Yes, so we're going to be performing Saturday night in Philadelphia, if you live anywhere nearby there, at the Theater Exile. So August 14th, Saturday, and that is at 8 o'clock. So if you're interested, just like or subscribe and just kind of follow us and see what we're up to. And we will be at Theater Exile. So thank you so much.
Awesome. So, sounds like an awesome show. Or we'll say it will be an awesome show.
We make everything's made up. All of the songs, the piano, all the laser robots that come out of the woodwork. We had a Westworld show last time. We didn't think that was going to happen. But anything can happen in Sugartown, which is where that particular show took place.
Wonderful. So, if you don't mind, if you want to throw those details into the chat too, so people can follow that stuff on the Facebook or Instagram, right? The Facebook. Yeah, the Google, as my parents would say. But yeah, with that, our time here is at a close. So thank you very much for watching. We'll be back in 2 weeks for the start of Chapter 3 and the adventure into New Borneo. So till then, thank you and take care. Bye.